Howdy everybody, and welcome to Random Rhapsody's crossover event. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM here on the network, and joining me around my virtual table today are Alyssa, Joe, Jeremy, John, Natalie, and Steven. Say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Now, this week we are getting back to our regular schedule with our playthrough of Maginites and Echo from the Stars on Wednesday. If you enjoy high school hijinks or anime-style tropes like Sentai and Magical Girls, you should definitely check it out. Steven's playing in it as well. You can also catch up on all of the episodes from every one of our campaigns by checking out our YouTube channel, which you can find on our link tree. We're also on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. Okay, is everyone ready?
See.
Yay.
That looks good anyway.
just kind of look at my picture.
Yeah, you like that? So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with our heroes as they attempt to break into the Zaeim's treasure vault. Okay, we're back! So when we last left off, our heroes had traveled to Rowena, the oasis capital of the Margarden Federation, in an attempt to acquire a dream root that is in the possession of the Zaeim. While the more martially inclined of both parties try their luck competing in the Azure Championship Gladiator Tournament, the remainder of both groups decided to team up with the mastermind of the Thieves Guild, Shadows in the Wind, to attempt to break into the magical vault owned by the Federation Zaeim. Inside the vault, the squad found themselves at the edge of a chamber lined with conductive metal on the floor and a magical gem inserted into the ceiling that sent bolts of lightning down towards anything that moved. In an attempt to figure out how to get past it, Corin created a spell bead containing invisibility for blood to cast on him while he cast fly on himself. This allowed the elven wizard to fly into the lightning room without being zapped, proving that the trap was indeed attracted to motion. A simple globe of darkness later, and the squad was able to hurry to the next door and successfully pick the locks without triggering the deadly poison needles that lie hidden there. From there, the team found themselves on a small platform overlooking an empty void hundreds of feet long and miles deep, with glistening black walls on either side. Secure in the knowledge that there was another platform on the far side, Eloise transformed herself into a giant owl to begin ferrying people over, while Corin flew on ahead to take a look at the next vault door. Unfortunately for them, the black slime coating those walls were actually some form of black slime that attacked her passengers as Eloise flew by. Now, Effie, Blood, and Willow worked with Kogan the Orc, or Jesus Verde as is become to be known, to shoot down the black pudding off the walls, while Veil, Corin, and Shadows examined the vault door. This one turned out to involve gears, levers, and a poem that Shadows had managed to discover sometime in the past. Now, using that clue, Veil started working on the problem, eventually joined by Blood, while the rest of the squad fought off the deadly the deadly slimes that continue to inch along their walls towards them. Corin even managed to temporally
In time.
I finally figured it out. Temporally lock one of the slimes and pushed it over the edge into the void. So, Shadows 8, which is what you are currently, the attacking slimes are now dead. Eloise, in her owl form, now can safely ferry everyone else across to the far platform. By Willow's torch, you can all now see that the walls to either side of you are plain, slightly pocked stone, clear of that glistening black stuff that you had seen when you first arrived in this chamber. That being said, there's a good chance that there's probably more of that stuff somewhere down below your platform. But you've probably got enough time for Eloise to get the rest of you across, as long as you hurry. Veil, during that time you had placed some gears and arranged the levers based on what you had gleaned from the poem Shadows had given you, and you now stand in the corridor that leads to the vault door, with its spindle wheel ahead of you. But before we get into all that, a question comes to each of your minds. And that question is, if you had the time to pick up and learn any artisan's tool, game set, instrument, or whatever, what would that be, and why? And looks like Corin is the one who rolled, so why don't you go ahead and go first?
Well, that's highly appropriate, because my character is currently attempting to learn Elvish, because he's in the body of an elf now.
That's fair. So yeah, fully learn the Elven language, because it's definitely going to take some time, even as you're slowly starting to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it. Eloise, how about you?
I don't know what they're called, but like woodworkers' tools, carpenters' tools. I don't know. I really want to whittle.
Yeah, carpenter's tools. I like that. Your father worked with stone a little bit, so you at least probably seen him do that a few times. Let's see. Willow, how about you?
Who is this Willow? I only know Blood 2.
God.
Willow
Great.
would probably
You need some
wants to
Willow.
learn blacksmithing.
Blacksmithing? Okay. That was something Shadows was into back in the day. So yeah, I can see Willow wanting to know that. Kind of a bit of a connection to the past.
Yeah.
I like it. Necthros, how about you?
I'd have to say cartographer's tools. With all the books I've read, the vastness of the outside world just fascinates me, and I'd love to get a chance to map it.
Okay, I like it. Effie, how about you? I can barely hear you.
No, it's not better, sweetie.
I can possibly make it better. But then I can't do camera.
Yeah, like I can barely make it out, but not too well. Okay, well, you go ahead and fiddle with that a little bit, but while you're working on that, we'll go ahead and go to Blood.
Well, I mean, I already know how to use several things, but most of it is to steal or to kill with, and that's not really. I mean, sometimes you want to create. So I mean, I think I'd always like to like calligrapher's tools, calligrapher pen, kind of things like that. Make something, I don't know, beautiful instead of trying to destroy things.
Okay, I like it. Effie, are you back in chat now?
Yeah, does it sound better?
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
much better, sweetie.
Yeah.
Okay. So, is everybody? Are you guys good if I tell you what Effie?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So
Effie really likes gambling. That's kind of her it's her favorite thing, but she also, struggles with it sometimes because she's lost a lot of money. Her preferred game set is dice, but she wants to get better at cards. Because that's how she lost a majority of her fortune.
Blood would raise his hand and be like, I'm really good with sleight of hand card tricks. I could probably teach you a few.
That is true.
I mean, learn to teach you to cheat. I mean, but you gotta know the game first to cheat. And I could teach you that.
Maybe we can work it out.
Yes, ma'am.
I like it. And I think I hear Zell in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it even more than you named your cat Zell.
Heck yeah. Zell or Q-Kazoo?
He's named after my favorite chicken was.
Oh, as I say, it's the most underrated Final Fantasy character ever. I love Zell.
And he plays fetch.
And he plays red.
He does play fetch. I can confirm this. Okay, well done, Shadows 8. Now, by this point, we can say that Eloise is in the process of bringing everyone across. It's going to take her a few trips, but it's doable. While that's happening, and you all move your tokens across, Veil. You had placed 4 gears on the pegs in the northern corridor, and you had moved the levers in the southern chamber. Do you remember how you arranged them?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell us real quick.
So, as far as the gears go, I for the there were 4 rods on the ground. For the first rod, I put a gear with 4 teeth on it. For the second rod, I put a gear with 7 teeth on it. For the third rod, I also put a gear with 7 teeth on it. And for the fourth rod, I put a gear with 3 teeth on it. As far as the levers go, there were 5 levers. I put the first lever in the down position, the second lever in the middle position, the third lever in the up position, the fourth lever in the middle position, and the fifth lever in the down position, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wrote down in my notes. So, I'll remind you all the poem that Shadows gave you. It was, at the back, it was 4 in 1 and 3 in 4. 2 needs all that came before. 3 seems last, but with only half, of 1 and 2 and also 4. The moon's true path shall reveal it all. So, here's my question, Veil. Do you turn the spindle? Do you trust your instincts, or do you have doubts? What's it gonna be?
I'm not physically going to turn the spindle. If anything, it would be with a mage hand from around the corner.
Well, you certainly can try it, and Shadows comes up behind you as well, and you cast a spell, and you grab it, and you try pulling with the mage hand, but it can only move 5 pounds. And if you remember, everyone who's tried to turn one has had to make an athletics check. Now, they're not difficult athletics checks, but it's probably more than a mage hand is going to do.
What about 2 mage hands?
That's 2.
The arcane handy.
Blood
grip style.
I mean, me personally, as the DM, I just want you to walk up to the door and pull it. But if you're really not that confident,
no,
I will say that with 2 mage hands working together while everyone is backed up at the far end, peering down the sides of the walls, on either side of the opening, with the heads just out. Veil and Corin casting Mage Hand and pulling and pulling and pulling, and it doesn't seem like it's going to work, but then suddenly, and it begins to turn.
Hell
and
yeah.
then all of you hear and then and this loud sound of gears clattering together, and everyone holds their breath and is like, oh shit. And then the wheel continues to turn, and slides open just an inch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And there was great rejoicing.
Those sound effects really had me on
Uh,
that beat for a second.
yeah.
Chink, 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 chink. I was like, dude, we're gonna have to call somebody.
So,
He's getting racist.
Can we go up and see like if the gears seem to be the one that's stopping it, or if the levers
No, he
seem to
said
be
it
stopping
opened.
it?
No,
No,
it's open,
the
bro.
door
He
opens.
said it opened.
The door
Okay.
opened.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant it opened.
Yeah.
No.
just an
We
inch.
opened the door.
I was describing a bunch of like metal gears grinding together, and
okay.
and then the door like just popped open a little bit.
Okay. Wow.
So
I'd
yeah,
say let's wait for the rest of the party to get ferried over, and then we'll have the
Yeah.
orcs move this big door.
but yeah, you can definitely do that, and everyone can go ahead and move your tokens over to the other side, and see what lies beyond. But Veil sent you figured it out in one go. Good job.
I really figured. Wow.
Yeah,
All
no,
right, cool.
that was the exact answer that I got, and like the gear thing, I'll just let you know. Natalie gave me a book of different traps and puzzles and things like that for our anniversary, and I just pulled something from it, and that was the thing. And then I added the second part about the levers just from my own mind, but it's the phase of the moon up and down again. Span
Wow.
of a night. So
That's awesome.
so take a point of inspiration for that.
Thank you.
If you
Yay!
have you used your inspiration coin yet?
I have not used my heist coin yet.
Okay, so
Yeah.
now it's so what I'm saying is now you have 2.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sweet.
I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Good
Can
job. Yeah.
Can I ask, how is everybody's health doing?
Not
I'm
good.
doing pretty bad. Yeah, Corin and I are pretty beat up.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna cast the Prayer of Healing. Because I also want to heal up too. But is there... So that is... It's up to 6 creatures of my choice. Let me click on it. Okay, yeah.
I think it's what, 10 minutes? Yeah.
Did my
Well,
owl lose any hit points?
Almost.
Almost, but no. We realized that it was an owl, not an eagle, because an eagle would not be able to see in this area. And then we realized, oh, the eagle has flyby. So the things tried to attack the people on you, but missed.
Right.
Because of a chronal shift, I believe.
Oh,
Yep.
well, shit. Because Eloise could use hit points. However, Eloise is an owl, and the owl does not need hit points, so no hit points for Eloise.
I'll also let you know that that corridor you could get through as a giant owl, but that door, it's going to be kind of a Winnie the Pooh situation. But fortunately, like owls, their feathers are a lot bigger than their body actually is, so it's not too difficult of a DC. You just got to get your head through the door, or you could just transform back. It's up to you.
Slither through.
Blood's fine. He doesn't need any health. So you can give it to somebody else.
Well, it can... 6 people can use it, so I want to use
Oh,
it, and
he's-
whoever else.
He's
Yeah.
got full
I'll
health.
use it.
He's good to go.
Willow will take some.
And
So, you, Willow, Corin, Necthros is 4.
Green Jesus needs some?
No, Green Jesus is good, as is Shura and Shadows. They haven't taken any damage yet.
Then just roll it for the 4.
Okay.
I mean, Green Jesus is the ultimate healer, so.
I mean, it's... Grant, true, very true.
Okay, so... What is it? 2...
So,
2d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Yep.
Yeah.
and you
Assuming
basically
you're
can do
using
that.
second
You,
level.
you can do that like 10 times. So 10 boost of the spell because you're doing prayer healing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, 2d8 10 times.
Really?
Wait.
Or wait,
why
no,
10?
sorry,
No, it's a
sorry.
10-minute cast.
I'm thinking of a different spell. Sorry. No,
Okay.
prayer
Thinking
healing.
of,
Up to 6 creatures of your choice gets
oh
2d8.
fuck!
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's
is
the druid
Aura.
thing.
Oh, wait.
Aura Vitality? Doesn't
My-
that do that?
Also,
Healing
you
spirit.
rolled
Healing
2d10. It's supposed to be 2d8.
2d8. 2d8, which is 10. And then...
What's your wisdom modifier?
My wisdom modifier is... Do. Let me look.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I'll get there 4th.
Okay, so everybody gets back 14.
Excellent.
So what does Shadows have to say about this room?
Well, I was just waiting for y'all to do your healing.
Yep.
Okay. So
Arm
as you're all stepping into the next room, it is a very long and wide chamber. Not as big as the one you were just in, but pretty damn massive. You can see in 3 locations there are just columns. Two towards the back, right here and right here, about 60 or 80 or so feet ahead of you, and one to the north, right over here. At the far end, there is a very large vault door. It's got engravings on it, like a kind of a floral pattern. You do not see a lock on it in any way at all. Just a big spindle in the center. However, Shadows does remind you. Now, this is the room that freaked me out. I'm not going to lie. Valenro transformed himself into the largest dragon I ever seen. With 2 of his claws and his tail, he went up to each of those pillars right there, inserted a key into a lock, and he points, and to the one to the north, there is a lock at the very top of the pillar. You can just barely see it. And then across to the other side, there is a keyhole on each of those other columns, more down towards the lower end. Valenro, with 3 keys, put his tail in one lock there to the north, and then with his claws, the other 2 to the east of here that we are looking at. And I watched him turn all 3 of them at the same time.
Oh, shit.
So if we pick all 3 of the locks at the same time, then we should be able to open it.
That's so easy to do.
Do we have a third who knows how to lockpick?
I would hope Shadows.
Yeah, Shadows
yes.
definitely does know how to.
And then there's the climbing portion of it as well.
Shadows and Blood have that down easy, but
Yeah,
it depends what the
Willow can
columns
pick
look like.
lock too.
Depends on what the column looks like.
Yeah, so the columns themselves is just a stone, slightly rounded protrusion from the wall itself. It goes up to the top of the ceiling. The ceiling itself is 70 feet tall. Pretty fucking big.
Oh, it goes up 70 feet?
Yeah. It is a huge, very tall chamber.
How fucking big of a goddamn dragon was this motherfucker?
He said it was the biggest dragon he's ever seen.
When I say that, I meant that quite literally. And I've been living in the Jontla Waste for a very long time. He transformed himself into a huge fucking dragon, which is why I've always assumed and I've always theorized that Valenro himself is a lich. That's got to be the most powerful magic I've ever seen in my life to transform into something that big.
Well, what
Lucky.
if that's his true form?
He could simply be an ancient dragon.
I mean, we don't know if he is the original Zaeim. I mean, it's always been rumored that the name transfers over, but I mean, hell, he could be the same one that is.
Shadow shakes his head. Shadow tells you, like, I've theorized for a while now that Valenro has been the same man this entire time.
I mean, he could be, what, 2,000 plus years old? And that's just the Federation, the Syndicate. Who knows how much older than that he is?
Well, then we'd better
Alright,
hope
so-
he doesn't catch us.
So let's speed's
I'll
the name
take-
of the game then.
I'll take this statue here.
Yeah, is this one? You said this one's lower to the ground, right? The one
Yeah,
where
that one's
Corin's
lower to
next
the ground. The keyhole is literally 5 feet off the floor, so it's very easy
And then-
for
And then
them.
how about this one over here, the other side of the?
Same
door?
side. It's literally they're both
Okay.
on even levels, so those
so
aren't
can
the problem.
Eloise fly blood up to the lock on this column, the northern column?
He's got a climb speed. He's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but 70
okay.
feet up?
I mean,
Didn't you
I'd
say
say
it was-
just in case he falls.
so here's the deal with that. Like, I personally I don't know whether or not an owl can fly up and hover like that. So
Okay.
let's just assume that Eloise can also just be waiting in case like blood falls or something, and be right
Okay.
there to go up and try
Use
to get
reaction to snatch her.
it. Yeah,
Now,
to snatch
you
him,
you
yeah.
said the columns are like attached to the wall, right? There's not like it's not like kind of protruded out. Like I couldn't get a harness around it just in case. too?
No, it's actually protruding from the wall. You wouldn't be able to get anything behind it.
All right. Well,
So wait, question. Matt, you
Yes.
had said that to get through the door is going to be kind of squishy for my owl.
So
Uh-huh.
to do it, you just need to make a dexterity check
oh wait, as
With
the
the-
owl. Hopefully
as the owl.
deck
Yeah,
is
as the
better.
owl.
As the owl.
The DC isn't huge because I mean it is a pretty big door. It's just you have a DC because of the fact that you're a large creature right now trying to get through a 7-foot tall vault door.
So, who wants to be on the other side?
Oh,
and push
why
me
did I roll at
through?
advantage? I'm sorry.
You might just
Well,
naturally.
that's a nat 1.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, unfortunately, like you tried to get your head through it, and you just bonk your head to the side of it. You're trying to push your way in, and as you, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. Blood's gonna say something in a minute. Go ahead.
just as you're doing there, you kind of like wedge yourself through. You get like half your body in there, but then you just kind of get caught.
oh, Miss Eloise. You inhabit it. Do I have all of her potions in my bag? I'm wondering. We had a spider climb potion. Was they on her in owl form, or did blood?
Yeah, I
get put
think
in
they're
Actually,
in my bag.
I'll have it on my break.
Okay.
I don't want it right now because I don't want to
Good.
eat one.
No, wait, they're not in. No, my bag of holding was left in the hole.
Wait.
So
Yes.
I have the potions on me,
Yes.
Okay.
I think. Hold on, let me check my inventory.
The bag of Colden shouldn't be in the hole. Just
No,
saying.
no, it should not. It's not in the hole.
No,
No,
no.
we
No,
left
it's
it
with the hole.
Yeah.
No,
so we
the
left it
hole
with
is with Jareth.
Oh, the hole's with Jareth! Oh my
Yes.
god,
the
it's
bag
been a
of
few weeks,
holding
guys.
is with the bag of holding separate and equal, but there were blood put them.
Yes.
So they're
Right.
fine.
Blood hid them. Okay.
Yes, blood
No,
went
yeah,
and put
I
them
have. Yes, I have a potion of spider climb. It's on my owl person.
Yes.
What about
Blood,
Jesus Verde? Can he just pull you through? Or
well, we don't.
So,
female orc?
Hey, yeah. Kogan is not a strong guy. He's
You know what?
he's
Blood's
another
got
rogue. Shura, and probably if Shura and Effie worked together, they could pull her through.
I mean, better
had
to do
one-
that than use the potion.
Yeah.
Because I had one listed because she can make spider climb potions. Can't she? Isn't that one? Yes. But I had one on my Blood's bag of holding that I had listed, and I kept the important ones that we could bring in. So I have a potion of climbing.
So
All right,
you're
well, it's up to you.
if you have a potion of spider climbing, you could just
Yeah.
walk up to it. That would be no
Yeah,
issue
that-
whatsoever.
I'm gonna use that because I mean, yeah, I can climb up this thing, but climbing it, then holding it, and I'm 70 feet in the fucking air.
Okay.
I don't want to be a little black spot.
Effie, what's up?
So I am gonna go up to Shura and Eloise, and I'm gonna give them a little tap and give them guidance before we try pulling her through.
Okay. Well, sure, why not? Okay, so you cast guidance on her, and then the two of you go and work together to try to pull Eloise through.
Nice.
So good.
Yeah, with a nat 20 for a 29 plus another 4, yeah, that's more than enough to, like, yank Eloise through the door.
No, she literally just, like, puts her hands, like, over my head and then, like, over my shoulders and kind of, like, smooshes my feathers down, and then I just, boop, right through.
Probably.
And then I'm gonna go over and, like, groom her hair a little bit. I'm gonna preen her hair as a thank you. And then I'm gonna do the awkward bird waddle over to Blood.
Right. Here's the
As
plan,
he's
gentlemen.
It's like as he's about to pop the top, he sees this. He's like, "Oh, okay, I'll hang on to this."
Make sure that you are close to finishing your pick and tell me that you are ready. I will then do a countdown from 3, 2, 1 now, and we shall all unlock ours at the exact same moment. Any questions?
Okay, so this is how this thing is going to work. Each of you are going to be making a lockpick check, and then a dexterity check. The dexterity check is timing to Corin's countdown, so that you can all turn at the exact same time. So does that make sense? First is the lockpick. Second is the dexterity check.
So can I go ahead.
Now, as you're doing this, as Blood takes his potion and starts climbing, as he and Corin go over and get in position, he says, "Now, before we do this, there is I do want to remind us, everybody, what we have in the next couple of rooms. Now, once we get through this door here, we have one more door. That is the door to the vault itself. That door Valenro cast 2 spells on to open up. He did not use any keys, and there's no lock on it. It was just a simple 2 spells, and the door came open. Mm-hmm. From there, that is the vault itself. And as we both walked in, that iron column came up out of the ground, with a glowing thing on it, and Valenro stepped forward and spoke the words of what was it? The password. Sorry, I kind of stumbled on that one. He spoke the password, and then the thing lowered again, and we had access to the vault. So that's what we got coming up. Now, before we do this and unlock these doors, is there anything anyone wants to accomplish? Because we only got a couple more doors to do.
Better to get on with it. Less chance of being disturbed.
Yeah, do you know which spells he used to unlock that door? The 2 spells.
Well, we've been over this once before. I am not a spellcaster whatsoever, and that was quite a long time ago.
Many years.
So no, I do not know the spells themselves.
We'll just have to figure it out when we get to that door.
And so, Blood, with your background, are you able to mimic his voice when the password is to be spoken?
I mean, I've seen him before, but I don't think I've ever. I mean, I guess at this point, he probably. I mean, during functions, would he have ever heard the Zaeim speak?
You yourself, maybe on occasion. Shadows, however, very much does know his voice, and he tells you that he was planning on mimicking the voice just to be on the safe side.
Okay. And then I'm over here by Corin. Am I able to watch with timing as far as when everyone's ready and picking their locks, and then on the dexterity check, am I able to give him assistance on that to let him roll at advantage? Give him the help action for the dexterity check.
So, I suppose the question is, would somebody find that actually helpful or distracting?
So,
I'm the one doing the countdown, so...
Yeah, Corin's doing the countdown.
It's up to them to match me.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're waiting. He's doing the countdown. they're all reacting to him. But still, everyone is rolling. Is going to be rolling the dexterity check.
Okay.
Sorry.
Am I able to give him the help action for the lock picking?
Again,
Just trying to increase our chances.
Probably not, because we said last time that it's more about like feeling things and.
yeah, it really is. Like you can help by pointing things out with investigation and perception. You can help talk to people with persuasion or intimidation, things like that. But like if you have an inch wide lock and tiny little picks trying to pick at it, how are you standing behind him helping in that situation is really the question. So there's not a lot of things I'm going to say no to about the help action, but in this case, yeah, kind of like it really wouldn't help anything. Now, Effie, since she can cast guidance, and if anyone else can cast guidance, that could help somebody along because it's a spell, or if you have any other spells that can affect these checks, that could work. You could certainly do that to help. That's why I was kind of giving you the chance to say, before we pick these, does anybody want to do anything?
Gotcha.
Yep, Effie, do you want to go help out with guidance?
Effie's gonna walk around, give everybody a little pat on the head, and cast guidance.
And you can only do it on one. It's a concentration spell.
Damn it!
Give it to Shadows.
I'll give it to Shadows.
Because unless you want to be 70 feet in the air with me.
Well, it lasts for a minute, so she could cast it and then you climb up it.
Yeah, well, I mean, can he get? Well, I guess he could get.
Yeah.
20 feet.
He's got 20 feet climb speed. It would take you 3 rounds.
18, 24, 24 seconds.
Yeah, so you're fine on that.
Are we ready to do this?
Yeah, on your count.
All right, so let's do our thieves' tools checks first, I guess.
Thieves' tools checks first.
Hey.
Do you have inspiration?
Oh, fucking ball!
Oh my god.
Anybody got inspiration to spend on us?
Can I?
We'll get an. We can probably try again.
Well, I can give him my inspiration, right? One of you guys.
Well, you do have 2 inspiration coins that right now, if you want to use those to allow them to re-roll this thing.
Chance, could he just say, "Hey, they all passed"?
And of course, Shadows has to show us up.
I think
DM's rolling. Look at that. Nat 20s, a 4 on a 4-sided dice. Everyone else is nat 1.
Yeah. Well, this makes up for the like 6 nat 1s I rolled last session.
Doesn't help us.
Blood, did you use your?
I did mine on the Azure Championship or the Azure
your guidance.
Oh well, I mean it's a.
I was gonna say, roll for guidance, because even if you
it'll be a 17.
Maybe.
Guidance is a D4, guys.
Yeah, guidance is
but
a
you're
D4.
adding it to the 13.
Okay.
So it's a 15.
It's alright, Veil, it's up to you whether you want to use your inspiration or whether you just want to see if there's a penalty for failure.
So so here's the deal.
Is it actually a 13 or is it a nat 1?
It's a nat 1, but it's a 15 with a nat 1. I mean, because when I had my gloves of thievery, remember I got a nat 1, but it was an 18 DC and I broke a pick. But he gave it to me because I still met the DC. I mean, this is probably not going to be good enough for the 15.
Well, so I have not yet said whether or not anyone succeeded or failed. Before I do, you have the option if you want to use either inspiration or heist coins, if you have heist coins, to allow for re-rolls. If you want to do so, you need to do so now. Otherwise, I will tell you the result of the roll.
Yeah. Does anybody have them? Does anybody want to use them?
Okay, so I could use. I don't want to burn both inspirations, but I feel like. No, you don't think so?
I can use mine. I have one. I have my heist coin.
I'll give Corin one of my inspirations, so I'll have one left.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll give mine to Blood.
Okay. Now, since we're burning two heist coins for this, that's pretty much using everybody's except for Jeremy has one more. So because of the fact that you're burning 2, I'm going to allow you to re-roll your thieves' tools at advantage.
Ooh. Hell yeah! All right, 26. A lot better.
19
plus your guidance.
Oh, so 21.
21. Okay. So now I need everybody to roll their dexterity saving throw, or the dexterity checks.
Okay, do I need to roll since I'm doing the countdown?
Technically, yes. But because you're doing this, the DC is lower because everyone is working in tandem.
Sure. And yeah, it'll literally.
And I just rolled another fucking nat 20.
It'll literally just be 3, 2, 1 unlock.
Fucking there it is, baby.
Do I get to roll at advantage because I have the alert feat?
Why would? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to allow that. Why not?
Nice. 20.
Nice.
Okay, so are you ready to know what happens?
Yes, please.
Tell us.
Oh boy.
The DC to pick these locks was a 21. The DC to turn at the same time was a 15.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't. Jesus,
I'm laughing,
Matthew,
so I
why did you put me through the stress right out of the gate?
I'm laughing so I don't cry.
I'm sweating.
Whew.
I'm the one rolling.
What is 70 feet in the air? I was shitting my pants. That's a lot of D6s.
Because I'm not gonna lie, this was going to be deadly.
Yeah.
With 2 nat 1s, yeah.
Yep.
Veil walks over and congratulates Corin. Big smile. That was a good timing and handwork.
You hear blood screaming Elvish. He's not even a real fucking elf. I'm your friend.
Veil says, through the side of his mouth, somebody's bitter.
Matt, can I get an intelligence check or something to try and see if I know what he said?
Elvish, you just admitted you can't speak it.
Not completely, but I've been learning it.
You know what? Yeah, go for it. Make an intelligence check.
24, baby.
Yeah, you probably picked up at least 2/3 to 3/4 of the words there.
I got the gist of it.
Yes, you got the gist of it.
And if he sees him with a snare in his face, he'll say in Orcish. Does he speak Orcish? Jesus, you're with me, right? No.
I just look over at Blood. I may not be an elf, but you're definitely a pussy.
Yeah.
And the orcs are just like, who's this Jesus guy you keep calling me? My name's Kogan.
Just take the wheel, baby. Just take the wheel.
Let's go
He's
through
from another realm.
the next room.
You know what? He's gonna say, he goes, do you ever find yourself looking up at the stars and think someone else is doing the same thing? That someone else is me, Jesus. He's just gonna walk away.
And you just hear you hear in the background him muttering, "Where the fuck did you find these people, Shadows?" So making your way into the next room, which is more just barely a corridor. It's only 10 feet wide by about 40 feet long or 50 feet long, and there at the end you find yet another vault door. This one is relatively tall. It's about 10 feet tall by 5 feet wide, and this one is very ornately carved as well. It actually looks like it was carved to be the palace, though you notice it's smaller, quite a bit smaller than the one you'd all seen when you arrived, as though it's an earlier version. You do see the spinneret wheel, or not. You don't see a spinneret wheel. You just see a handle on the one side that obviously is meant to be pulled. But other than that, it just appears to be a plain door.
Is there any besides the palace? Is there any other inscription that would give me a hint towards what would need to be done here as far as spells go?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Can Blood help him with that?
Sure.
Because he'd want to study the image of the palace too to see what he recognizes of it. So take your advantage, Jeremy.
Yep. That's gonna be a 21.
You're kind of looking through this symbolism. There's no like words anywhere written on there. However, you are starting to see a little bit of symbology. Like there in the sun, there's a bit of a motif carving that gives you the impression of death and a finger. You can also see in several places, like on the palace itself, there's doors with very large locks on it.
Does it look like a language?
Make an Arcana check.
Is that me or?
I think probably
Sure.
Eloise, maybe.
Yeah, there's symbology there on the motif, but it's difficult to piece together beyond what I've told you so far.
Okay.
Well, should we pay attention to the symbolism, or should I attempt to knock this thing open?
I have a feeling if we do the wrong spell, something bad might happen. So
yeah, I'm wondering if there's some sort of if I could dispel magic on it.
You can certainly try to do anything. Also, talk it out amongst yourselves.
Well, I'm certainly not strong enough to cast Finger of Death, so...
No, neither am I. I'm not sure what, or even, I don't have Disintegrate either.
I still think Knock is a decent option.
Yeah, definitely Knock.
You said there was Rays of the Sun, and then there was also Death as well?
In the symbology of the sun, there was a symbology of death and a finger.
Well, maybe it's something like from life and death. Maybe it's some kind of healing magic and necromancy together. We've definitely.
I have Burning Hand.
Alright, fuck it. I'm turning back into Eloise.
Okay. You poof back into Eloise.
Yep.
Right.
I have Sunbeam.
Sunbeam.
Mm-hmm.
Do you all perhaps want to take a step back and I can try Knock first, and then if that doesn't work, we can move on to the next thing?
Yes.
We've got another wizard when you die. It's okay. Go ahead.
Do you think there's something we need to cast before Knock?
I'm not certain, but considering that it opens something that contains mundanes or magical means to prevent access, and it should work.
Have you tried speaking friend?
Okay. Knock's pretty much
Yep.
Yeah, let's see.
Casting Knock.
They don't try to figure out any spells.
So I'm going to back up a little bit.
What it could be.
Yep.
Okay.
Does not specify, just says if it's held shut by mundane or magical means that prevent access.
So it's got multiple locks, only one.
So here's the deal. Shadows did tell you that there is a layer of spells on here. You walked up and you cast Knock, and the big loud kong sound of knocking on a metal door hits and goes off, and you do see the door pop inward in 1 second as this other spell that was enchanting this door hits you.
Yeah.
And I need you to make a
Hi, Kramer.
1 second, I forgot to write this down.
But I
Sorry,
don't want to
Mike.
be a pirate.
My cat just Kramered my door.
So no, there is no save for this.
Okay.
Mistake. Power word kill hits you, Corin.
Oh shit!
And with that, you had less than 100 hit points, so
Yep, I was at
You-
17 HP, so I died.
like a counter spell would work against that?
no, there is no counter spell for
No,
this.
we're
This
not in combat.
This is something that immediately triggers, but when the door is purposely opened without it being dispelled. You can't counterspell something because nobody's casting the spell. The enchantment is on them.
No, that's fair.
Question.
Oh,
Is
well,
there any notification of that it might be coming out that I might be able to push him out of the way and take the kill spell
No,
instead?
you're too far from
you're
me.
you're too far away.
Okay.
This is
I
just
told
it,
everybody to back out. So
it immediately happens the moment he cast the spell. It unleashed the spell, which was power word kill, and Corin drops.
Veil immediately runs in. Is he like
He's dead.
Make a medicine check.
that's what the medicine skill is for.
medicine? Okay, with my -1 medicine check.
Veil's used to killing him.
He's dead, Jim.
He's alive. He's still alive. He's breathing.
He's dead, Jim.
Veil's hunched over, just kind of quivering his hands. He holds them up to his head, and he just sits there.
Shadows is like standing on the other side of the vault door, and he looks at this and said, What the? I told you there was 2 spells on that thing.
Is this a revivify moment, or are we going to keep going?
This is definitely a revivify moment. You do
Yeah,
have 2
Veil-
healers here.
Veil's
Literally
gonna,
poke my head through the door and ask.
and Veil's gonna turn his shoulder and just scream this blood-curdling scream you've never heard before, with tears in his eyes and actual emotion on his face, and say, "Eloise!"
Okay, that's a yes.
Eloise and Effie are both healers here. Effie, you saw the same thing happen, so you kind of getting in on this as well?
Well, I don't have Revivify.
You don't have Revivify plans?
I don't have.
Prepared?
I mean, I have Create Undead, but
Wow.
Now you're talking Veil's language.
I mean,
All right.
Are we talking intelligent undead?
Ooh.
Ew.
I don't think this is the pet you guys were wanting earlier.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Jesus Verde.
yeah, Jesus Verde looks in and is like, nah, I got nothing. But Eloise, you do have Revivify.
Also,
I
Ichabod
do.
wouldn't want me around.
So so are you casting Revivify, Eloise?
I kind of raise my eyebrow at blood, and I take the diamond out.
Yes, do it. Why are you looking at me like that? Come on. I know he's not a real fucking elf. I'm not gonna let him die because I don't like his kind.
Why do I feel like subconsciously you're like, yes, one less elf in this world?
But then again, I also didn't want him to come back as a zombie because those things creep me the fuck out.
So as you're all kind of bickering about zombies, Eloise kneels down, pulling out the diamond, and begins casting the Revivify spell. Now, the way I like to do this is I like there to be a little bit of a roll involved, because sometimes just a soul does not want to come back. So Eloise, tell me, as you're the one casting the spell, and probably since Effie's there with you, talking to you and kind of coaching you as well, how do you call out to Corin.
Hey,
You
Matt.
cast a spell. Yeah.
It already has, obviously, the diamonds as a spell component.
Yeah.
But can we say, just for flavor's sake, that she reaches over to Necthros and, like, takes a finger and takes a little bit of his tears and, like, wipes them on my body?
Absolutely. I'm down for that.
Fuck, man.
Like, the first time he's ever shown, like, serious emotion about something.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. I feel it.
No,
somebody-
we
Somebody
saw
that I've met.
we saw a book get wet once, and he was just as upset. Okay, so let's calm it.
You're just a soggy book.
No, the difference is I don't open for just anyone.
Oh, boom. Okay, Eloise, how are you calling out
Yeah.
to Corin's soul?
Hey, Mr. Elfman, that's not an elf. So we haven't gotten to the vault yet. But if you come back, you owe me a 300 gold diamond.
I sort of
in the veil.
I sort of
Effie adds in, thanks for taking one for the team.
don't want to give you advantage anymore.
Yeah, don't give her advantage on that. That's almost as bad as if she had said, "Hey, so if you've got 300 gold on the other side, then I can bring you back." But if you
Willow's gonna
don't,
step away
Hmm.
since she's broke.
yeah, don't give her advantage after that.
Yeah. Go ahead and make either a persuasion or an intimidation check, Eloise.
I'd like to come back to life, but after that,
Question: if we have to do reincarnate on him, can we do a poll on for the fans pick what race he comes back as this time?
Yeah, I like doing the random dice roll, honestly.
yeah, the chart is fine.
The chart's fun.
We have it's a big chart. It has a bunch of different options.
Does anybody
Does it
got
have
a
the
carrot?
new Spelljammer options?
I don't remember. I'd have to look.
I think I
But
did put on some
It
on
does
You'd have
have
to
some
add
stuff
them.
that doesn't exist in Loroupa, so Matt said if I came back as one of those, I'd be the only one.
Yep.
Anyways,
Yeah, Louise, you got a carrot on you? That might bring him back.
persuasion or intimidate?
Yep, persuasion or intimidate, Eloise. I'm waiting on you.
11.
Wow. So
Nailed
you
it.
literally hit the DC because every
God.
time you die, it goes up by 1. So it started off at 10. You
Yeah.
literally rolled exactly the DC to call Corin back. And Corin, you do across the veil. You do hear Eloise like, "You owe me a 300 gold diamond, dude." As you're being pulled, your soul's pulled back violently into your body.
He's weighing his options.
As Blood spends a point of inspiration to have her re-roll to try and get her to fail.
I mean, if you really want, I can I can message Kyle and ask him.
No, no.
As he comes back, I'm just gonna pat him on the forehead. Good bunny. And then I'll get up and walk away.
you just gasp as you're brought back to life, Corin. You have 1 HP.
Yeah, if this were somebody who was going to use disadvantage, it would be the time. But no, I don't want to
Yeah.
die.
Especially since you keep
So,
throwing advantage.
I just want
against
to
him.
clarify. I literally didn't realize that Revivify was an option here, and I really thought Corin was dead. And me as a player, but as Vale right now, Vale kind of sees this happen and takes his robes and wipes the whatever condensation formed around his eyes slits, and kind of shrugs it off and gives everyone like a quick glance and acts like that didn't happen.
Like a Dwight
And-
Schrute moment. Just, you know.
Willow's gonna walk up the veil and be like, "You're acting like a bitch."
Yeah, you said it best. What the fuck happened to you, man? Dude, we
Yeah.
dug up dead bodies like 3 days after I met you. What the fuck? Now you're crying over this asshole? God damn, dude.
No, I wasn't crying. It was there's
No,
sun
there
in
was
my eyes.
there was
There's a-
sun in your eyes.
There was a sandstorm.
Hey, assholes. Let no one say that I did not give my all for this mission.
Well, How about it said
You
two
mean you did a
spells,
dumb thing?
decided to, yeah. There we go.
Well, is the door open?
Well, the door is
Is
like
the-
slightly open a crack, and Corin is lying on the ground with 1 HP, and Shadows is just kind of peeking his head in the corridor, saying, "And now you see why I made sure to bring 2 healers with us."
Yeah.
But
I'm
I'm gonna grab
well-
Corin by the ankle and just drag him back down the hallway.
okay.
Veil's gonna say
Attempt
Hey,
to
who's there to-
resist.
Dude,
Okay,
you just came back from the dead.
Yeah.
You
Make
resist?
make a athletics check, Eloise. Make an athletics check with disadvantage, Corin, because you just came back to
Sure.
life.
I got a 4, so probably not good enough.
Not one.
No. Oh,
Maybe-
Wow! No, you managed to kick yourself free from her.
like a
You
toddler
want me
getting
to
out of the bag.
Follow you. I can
Ugh.
stand up as I gingerly stand up and then follow her.
Fine, put more effort into it than you needed to.
Oh, why am I able to move Eloise? I didn't know.
Why do I keep moving? I haven't touched me.
I didn't. I was like, I didn't. My token was down. I was like, why am I able to move Eloise? I actually
Done really
made a
well.
mistake.
Probably because we needed other people too.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
There, now you can. Now it's just Eloise.
Dragon.
I don't see the dungeon.
Oh, that's the dungeon right there.
The man, the dragon.
There's no dragons right here, right now.
But there might be. You never know.
Yeah.
What happens now?
Well, that's the question. And as you're all sitting there, wounded and Corin barely alive, are you still going to continue on into the next chamber or not?
Yeah.
Effie is gonna walk over to Corin and pat him on the head and give him cure wounds.
Is everyone down?
Wow.
But she's gonna roll
That's
a
what
1.
he deserves. That's what he deserves
Does-
for doing that, though.
Does
You-
everyone need healing?
Nah.
I mean, not everybody,
I'm sure a
but
lot
some
of you need
people.
some, yeah.
So what's the spell you're using? Like, did you post it in chat?
Yeah,
Just cure wounds.
I was just gonna do a simple cure wounds, but
Whatever your modifier is, too.
Yeah. What's your wisdom modifier?
4, I think she said.
Okay, so you got 5 healing back.
Okay, I'm up to 6.
Little wave shadows in and be like, come take a look at this door with me, sir.
So Shadows walks up with you, and the two of you look
Yeah.
together. It's like it's ajar. It's slightly open.
Yeah, it's
it hasn't been pushed all the way open because the spell just kind of unlatched it and let it open.
How
So
far
if-
open are we talking?
Like a little bit of a gap, not very much at all. And Shadows actually puts his hand on the door and kind of cautions you. He says, "Now, the moment I open this door, I'm going to have to say the password."
I'll
And
be ready, sir.
is everybody else good?
Crossbow up.
Yeah. Is everybody else
Crossbow up
ready?
with an adamantine bolt.
No, we're good. You got this, bro.
Okay. It's up to y'all. Well, Shura and Kogan are also kind of moving through into that area. Okay. So, you're pushing open the door.
Yeah, you said Shadows was. Yeah, we'll push it open, but he's got to say the password, right? So
Yeah. So he's going to have to step in and say the password. Just making sure everyone's ready and doesn't want to do
I'm
anything.
gonna tap him and give him guidance.
Blood's got a crossbow shot ready to go with an adamantine bolt. So,
Wait, then who's opening the door?
Shadows is.
well, we've got.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, Shadow steps forward and pushes open the door. And as the door opens, you see a large chamber. Huge. It goes on for quite a ways, well past anyone's dark vision. You can see in the center a tall platform, square, with a metal column just kind of jutting up a little bit. As the door pushes open, all of you can see this column move upward, farther, farther, farther. A bluish glow begins to fill the area around there, which you should all be able to see, I think.
Yeah, if I were to move further into the door.
Yeah, you should be able to see the
that,
glow.
yeah.
You can see the glow there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Shadow steps forward into the room, and as he does, he pulls out his book and he looks at it, and he yells out in a very loud voice, "Willkommen im Himmel!" Very loudly.
Hello.
What is that? Does Vale know
German?
the language?
What languages do you speak?
I didn't hear you
All
say
of them.
anything.
I know Primordial, Sylvan, and Undercommon.
I know Celestial, Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Elvish, Goblin, Orcish, Sylvan, Undercommon.
I got Giant to add into that.
Yeah, you do not recognize the phrase whatsoever. It's Willkommen im Himmel.
Okay.
But that's what it is.
So it's German. Gotcha.
It actually, yes, it is German.
Yeah, welcome to heaven.
Yep. But as he calls this out, the glowing thing that's on that column seems to focus and move down towards him. And you just hear this loud, "Incorrect!" And the entire thing begins to rise upward as this massive column begins to rise higher and higher, growing in size as parts move upward as well. You all kind of stand back, like, oh my god, as an iron golem forms into being there in the center. And I need everyone
To roll.
for initiative.
Don't forget to click your character token.
Before
you.
you roll.
Wow, Liam plays your character once, and he always calls that, and it's like it just stuck with you. And then you
Somebody might actually beat me. Oh, somebody did beat me. Of course, it helps that I rolled a 4.
If you
Okay.
My initiative is 2.
My initiative is 19.
you get the Fey touched feat and give yourself Gift of Alacrity every morning, you could add a D8 to that roll as well.
I'm already getting a plus 15. What more do I need?
Yeah, I'm also a Harangon time wizard in my
He's
Wednesday
not
night
a hair
game.
god anymore, though.
Yeah, that's right.
That was actually nice, though, because it meant I didn't have to keep up with my proficiency bonus for initiative anymore. It's just a flat number that doesn't change.
I don't have any damaging or combat spells.
I have a couple. Not sure how useful they'll be, but
Now, the one thing that I will point out at the beginning of this battle is that when the thing forms, there is a very large jewel inset into the center of this this creature. It is big, it is blue, and it is glowing vibrantly.
yeah.
It was the part of the column that was on top. It kind of moved down into the center of the chest, and it's sticking out there, protruding from the center of it.
Cool.
Now, did he say magic items can be used inside the vault, or are we going to get sucked to the wall?
That might be what we have to disable. Maybe this is what we have to disable in order to use our magic items.
Probably. But let's
I
see
have a
what happens.
dagger.
I have a rock.
Well,
Whose turn?
damn it, did it not? Okay.
There we go.
Well, there it is. I hate that. Well, Shadows is going to be first, but I think we're going to go ahead and take a break here first. That way we can get into this battle fresh. Sound good?
Sure.
Yeah.
So let's try to make this really super quick and be back in like 5-6 minutes. That way we can get into the meat of this encounter. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back very, very shortly. Okay, welcome back, everybody. When we last left off, the team had boldly stepped into the vault, following Shadow's lead. He spoke the command word he believed would work on this thing, but it's been a few hundred years since that happened, so it's changed since then. And the thing came up out of the ground, responding to the wrong passphrase, and turned out to instead be a iron golem, which is pretty fucking terrifying. But, yeah. Shadows is first, and the moment he realizes that his password didn't work, he yells out, "Shit! Kogan, Shura! We gotta deal with this thing now!" And he is going to, using his feline agility, get a little farther than his normal 30 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 into this room. There's 40 feet there. As a bonus action, he's gonna hide. .25 stealth. He definitely beats out that guy's wisdom. So he goes running there, ducks into the shadows. You then see a couple crossbow bolts come shooting out as Shadows is using the Or actually, no, he can't do that because he uses bonus action to hide. So never mind. So just one shot with the hand crossbow. That is a 23, which does hit. And with the sneak attack, 25 points of damage. Okay. He's going to use the remainder of his movement to go to the other side, but nobody can really see that. But that's the end of Shadow's turn. Blood from a stone. You did see Shadows go running in there and disappear down one side corridor.
And I saw him dart to the left, right?
You did see him dart to the left.
Alright, well then Blood's going to kind of do the same using his kitty cat speed, but he's going to dart to the right, and he's going to duck in here, and he's going to pretty much, he's going to, you know, see monkey do, and he's going to go to hide.
Yeah, in this room that you step into is shelves upon shelves of, like, gems, just kind of strewn about, haphazardly coating the shelves. There's quite a bit that's fallen down on the ground.
Yeah,
and there's
like when Dave Chappelle and the Weeds, you know, in half bags, he's just, he's just having a moment, but he's gonna like, all right, Golem, Golem.
In the center of this is a small raised platform, just a little a square thing about 5 feet tall, made of stone, that seems to be like a display with a bag on top of it.
All right, so now you're not only tripped his, you know, curiosity to kill the cat, but you've done mine too. But yeah, he's going to hide, so he did 21 for stealth.
Okay.
And then he'll, if the guy doesn't see him or know where he went. Nope.
That light doesn't seem to be focused in your direction, that's for sure.
And then I guess with the adamantine bolts, are they just regular bolts, but they're just adamantine, or were they like?
Yeah, they're adamantine bolts. So it is a naturally a +1, even though it's not magical.
Alright, then I have a plus because I had +1 arrow, so I'll just click that little thing real quick.
Okay.
And then he's not going to go sharpshooter yet until he knows what he can do with this, but yeah, he's going to just take a shot. Well, 28.
Oh yeah, actually, I don't have that on Shadow's one either. He's also using adamantine bolts.
I assume it's intentional that the golem is not on the initiative order, Matt.
Oh,
we
it should.
can't see
It should have been.
Okay.
No,
So that means it doesn't get a turn.
Oh,
right?
did I? I forgot to roll it. That's why.
Yeah, you rolled all your other people. You got, you only had like 3 of them, so 3 or 4 of them. So it's understandable you missed one.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. He's in order now.
All right, but yeah, so and it did. Okay, it did the
hold on a
+1,
second.
so,
Let's see. So, what was to hit?
28.
Yeah, 28 does hit.
So yeah, then it's 23 total. 14 sneak, 9 pierce.
Okay, 23 points of damage.
And since he doesn't have the crossbow feat, he won't get his second shot this round, since he has the reloading properties.
I mean, you hit anyways, so.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
so-
just it, but first round he gets for that extra shot, but he doesn't have the reload property thing. So
Yeah. So the what happens is two bolts from 2 kitty cats go shooting out across, slamming into the golem. They're both tipped with adamantine arrow tips, and it does pierce the very hard hide of this this metal golem. So much so because of the sneak attack that it's embedded deeper than it normally would. We'll say.
nice. All right, that's it is his turn.
Cool.
Indeed. Okay.
So just go a little further back in.
Yep. Absolutely. So
Just
Willow,
staring at all the gems.
you're kind of far behind everybody else, so you didn't see the golem, but you definitely heard Shadows yell, "Shit, we got to deal with this!" And then you saw blood dash off as well. So what are you doing?
I am. I'm gonna run up and assess the situation.
You said it's glowing, right?
The gem in the center of the thing
Yeah.
is glowing blue. And that's where the light's coming from.
Yeah, it's true. He's no dark vision. That's why I was asking.
Where are you? What's your range? Yeah, screw it. So Will's gonna take needle, drop it, and I'm gonna cast catapult.
Are you using needle as the catapulted thing?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll allow it. I mean, well, hold on. No, I can't. A rapier. How much does a rapier weigh?
Let's see here. What do we put? Because we did it as a short rapier. Let's see.
2 pounds.
Okay, so 2 pounds itself. What's the weight limit on?
And if
1 to 5.
1 to 5. So then, yes, I'll allow it. You can't.
I've done it.
Yeah,
before.
no. I was just overthinking. But yeah, you're
good.
You can drop needle and go try to launch it off with the catapult. So how does that work?
Alright, cast it. So it needs to do a dex save.
Dex saving throw. Okay.
And some reason I accidentally have sneak on there.
Well, go ahead
It
and...
was probably clicked from when I did it. The
Yeah.
stuff last week.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll just ignore that. And technically it wouldn't be bludgeoning, it would be piercing, I guess, because it's the rapier. But that's okay. Well, it nat 1'd, so that's definitely a failure. Your blade goes flying across the room and strikes true. However, it is also non-magical, and it seems to just bounce off the thing's armor, doing no damage to it.
Okay. Then I'll just bonus action and have it pop back up at my hand.
Okay, you can definitely do that, and it just disappears and reappears back in your hand again.
And I'll just sit there and go, in the shadows. And really not move.
Yep. Next up is Shura's turn. Shura, she hefts a giant maul made of pure adamantium off of her back. She has that. She also has a pair of javelins, now that I'm reading that. So maybe she won't huff that yet. But she is still going to step into the room. 5, 10, 15 to here, 20, 25, and 30 to here. So she's presenting a pretty decent-sized target. And she's going to go ahead and rage. Pull out that adamantine javelin that she has, and she is going to launch it at him. Shouldn't have been an advantage, actually. And it goes sailing past and misses him with a 17. She's going to hold up one more and throw that as well, because she is a barbarian. And going on with the theme of the previous session, I just can't seem to hit anything, and I rolled an 11, so Shura did not do shit. But that's her turn.
Me as well.
Corin, you're up next. You're pretty damn wounded, and on the other side of that vault door that is going to remain open for the next 10 minutes, technically, due to the knock spell.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to go ahead and cast... Where is that? I'm going to attempt to hit him with a lightning bolt.
You're going to hit him with a lightning bolt. Okay.
Attempt to, yes.
What size is this guy? Just curious.
He is large. Very, very big. Yes, he is. Well, you begin to gather up your magical energy, and you cast Lightning Bolt, forming a line of 100 feet long and 5 feet wide that blasts out from you towards the creature. It's a dex saving throw.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's bad.
And he nat 19'd.
So he takes only 10 points.
It only takes 10 points of damage. But I'm going to say that you kind of angle it directly at his chest, and it, as you're doing it, the gem there does take the hit, and you see it chip a little bit. But it didn't do a hell of a lot of damage to it.
Okay. And then I don't think he is small enough to use that on him. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to try and use that on him. I think that's it for my turn.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to include something else in that roll, but it was a net 20, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Kogan's up next. He's
Green
going to move
Jesus.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet to right there. y'all are bunched up kind of there, and Corin, you're in front.
Yep, had to make sure nobody else was going to get hit by lightning bolt.
Yep, I understand that. Yeah, so he's gonna pull out his short bow. He is an arcane archer. He does not get his sneak attack because he has nothing really to hide behind right now. So instead, he's gonna go ahead and do I think the piercing shot. Let's see. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna waste that right now. I'm just gonna do a straight shot for right now. Oh yeah, go with my first instinct. I am gonna do it. Sorry. Yeah, he is gonna use his piercing shot to do this. So, shot at the or at least if it hits it, I can choose to do it. I think. Fuck.
Probably not, though.
Well, it shouldn't have been an advantage, but he definitely. Oh wait a minute, no, he should have been an advantage, but never mind. Yeah,
it misses.
He misses either way. So yeah, that's it for his turn. Well, no, he still does have his bonus action because he didn't use that. So he's going to go ahead and use his bonus action to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to right there. And he is hiding in that back area. That way he can get his sneak attack. Well, next up is the Iron Golem. Oh, that's why.
Did it put it on the light instead of the golem?
Yeah, it put it on the light instead of the golem. That's so fucking weird.
Kill the light.
Bury the light deep.
There, that should be there.
Well, it's still his turn.
Yeah, I just had to move that.
He's before Veil.
Well, sorry, Corin, but you presented a really, really good target standing right in front.
Oh no.
There.
That's 2 gems, you Alice now.
Yep. 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, even though he get, unless it's massive damage, yeah. So
he can do 61 damage in one hit. He's a fucking giant iron golem.
He probably could.
We'll find out, I guess.
Let's find out what happens. He comes moving forward, running at full speed to slam into you.
Oof.
But that's definitely going to hit.
I'm going to silvery barbs it.
Okay, you're going to silvery barbs it.
I don't have shield prepared like I thought I did.
That is a plus 13 to attack. Good fucking god.
Okay, so I got to re-roll that.
And then I'm going to give blood advantage.
Okay, you give blood advantage. It still hit either way. What's that?
I think I need to see him. Let's see.
You may choose another creature within the spell's range. This can include yourself. Remember, we determined that as long as he's in the area, he can do it.
I'm within your range. 60 feet, right? Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So yeah, that
Thank
24 still hits.
Okay, the 24 still hits. It does do 24 damage, which does not kill you outright, but it does knock you out.
Yep. So that just takes me to 0, right?
Yes,
That's
correct. That just takes you to 0.
Okay.
Okay. That was his first turn, or his first attack. When Corin drops down to the ground, it then steps literally over him and moves over to the next target, which actually, before I do that, I'm going to roll a d4 and see who's the bigger target to him. Little Willow or Shura, who is quite a bit bigger. So probably Shura, but we'll roll for it anyway. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3. I said 1, 2, 3 was going to be for Shura. Or I was starting to as I rolled it, but that's Shura. So, it's going to step over Corin that way and come right here, smashing into a chest a little bit as it does, and then pulls out this long sword from the side of its leg, just up and out.
Awesome.
Then he swings that sword at Shura.
Like fucking RoboCop.
17 just hits Shura.
Aw.
But she's raging.
She is raging, and she's only going to take 13 points of damage.
3d10 plus 7. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, this is a beefy thing here.
Yeah, blood squishy. You can't take
That's-
many of those.
Couldn't even take me out in a single hit.
He probably could have if he would have attacked a second time at you, but once you're fallen, you're not as much of a threat. So it seems to be less concerned with killing and more concerned with stopping.
That's fair.
That's it for the Iron Golem's turn. And next up, we come to Effie, who you just heard a big slam and then a slash and a female voice going, "Ah!" in
You
pain.
skipped Veil.
What's that?
You skipped Veil.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I?
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, it
they
was
both
13.
had 13. Tag Veil and the Golem.
Ah, my bad.
That's all right.
Go for it.
I'm just gonna hop over so I can see him right here, and I'm going to just toll the dead for right now.
Okay, you're tolling the dead on the Iron Golem?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, you can't. You do have line of sight. You can't see him. So that is a wisdom save, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, DC 17.
So annoying that the higher roll was less damage.
Rolled a
Yeah,
5.
I know, right? So that's gonna be 9 necrotic.
9 necrotic.
And poop. That is my turn.
Okay, that's it for Veil. Effie, now you're up, and you did hear some hits being taken. What are you doing?
So I'm gonna move into the room. 10, 15. Okay. And I am going to cast, I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt.
Gonna cast Guiding Bolt to strike the Iron Golem. Yeah, a 23 is going to hit.
And then that's gonna be 4d6.
This bolt of radiant light comes shooting out from Effie's hand, flying true and striking the Iron Golem in the side. Go ahead and roll your damage. Just click the word Guiding Bolt in chat.
Okay, that's all I gotta do. And did I do it wrong?
No.
Nope, you just rolled really, really low.
2, 1, 3, 2.
Yeah. So, so 8 points of radiant damage striking this creature, and it also seems to glow a little bit from the radiant bolt.
And then for my bonus action, I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith.
You cannot cast. You can't cast 2 leveled spells in a turn.
Okay. Okay.
You can cast a leveled spell and a cantrip on the same turn, but that's it.
Okay. Then pass.
Okay. That's it for Effie. Eloise, you're up next.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and step into the room. Through the door, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I'm just going to make a 5 right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and cast Sunbeam at it.
Phew, Sunbeam, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, tell us a little bit about Sunbeam.
So, Sunbeam, Eloise starts, as she's walking, gathering, like, this light and energy, like, her hands start glowing, and she starts, like, it's almost like she's, like, pushing in and condensing it between her hands and pushing it in until she gets to where she has a straight line between her and the golem without any of her allies. And then she opens her hands to let the beam strike between her hands. And so it needs to make a... Oh, sorry, here, I'll put it in chat. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Con saving throw.
I don't know why it says 18, because I don't have my staff on me. It's 16.
So it would be 16. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's got a lot of con, but it rolled like shit, so that is a failure with a 9.
Okay. So that is 30 points of radiant damage.
Ouch. 30
And it
points.
is 30 points of radiant damage. And it is blinded until my next turn.
What's the
Okay.
blinding condition do?
Disadvantage
I'll look it up.
on
Never
attack.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can
you
you save?
cast that spell, and this blinding, searing light comes shooting from Eloise's hand, striking the creature directly in the chest. As that blast hits, you all can see fine hairline fractures starting to appear along the edge of this thing's chest. The jewel itself. There's hairline fractures starting to appear along the gem.
Yep. And it now sheds bright light for 30 feet and then dim light for an additional 30 feet. So if anybody doesn't have dark vision, you don't need it no more.
How long does the bright light effect last?
A minute.
Mm-hmm.
Concentration.
Minute?
For
Okay.
the duration.
So for a minute?
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, good to know.
As
So-
long as I'm concentrating on it.
We're back at the top of the turn order with Shadows. Shadows has a pretty good line of sight here. He's not going to try to hide because he can see that glowing light from the radiant bolt there. It's kind of being like overshadowed by Eloise's bright light that's now glowing off the thing, but it is still there, so he's still going to take, get the advantage off of it. .27's definitely going to hit. 28 points of damage total. He is then going to, as a bonus action, as a crossbow expert, he's going to fire his second crossbow as a bonus action. Yeah. That should not have been an advantage, and a 17 does not hit. The arrow flies.
It is advantage. The blinded feet, or the blinded condition, attacks to it are advantage, attacks from it are at disadvantage.
Nice. Okay, good to know. Like it. So then, yeah, he does have advantage.
I'll pop it up in chat.
Love it. So then, yeah, it does actually hit. No more sneak
Good
attack,
spell,
but
Eloise.
but 10 more points of damage to it.
I mean, Shura's right beside it. Would he not get sneak attack?
No, he got sneak attack on the first attack anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Bad math. There we go. Okay, that is Shadow's turn. He's not going to bother moving right now. Blood, you're up next.
No, it's not a constant beam, right? Like
No.
it's okay, so I can pass by without getting fried,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'm in between my turns. I'm concentrating and I'm getting more of that energy and condensing and using my concentration to condense the energy between my hands to make another beam.
Well, he's going to be kind of running out, moving towards one of the next ones, trying to get away from the incredibly bright light for when this thing starts being able to see again, so he's not seen immediately. And he's going to take a shot, and he's got an advantage, well, from Veil and from it being blinded. I'm not going to go sharpshooter just yet. We want to see what this thing's AC is, but...
Always go sharp.
Oh my god! Yeah, well, it definitely wouldn't have helped there.
It definitely would not have.
Yeah, alright, I mean...
So it's at 16.
5, 10, 15, 20... No, 16 doesn't. Because 17 earlier wouldn't have hit, so...
Okay.
10, 15, 20, 25. And he's gonna bonus action to dash and get into this doorway.
Okay.
And just hang out.
As you step into that doorway, there's another, pillar there with something on it. There's also a couple weapons racks sitting there.
Damn it, man. Fuck you. Makes me want to steal stuff and then we're triggering traps. Alright. He's gonna be
Yeah,
cool.
looks
He's gonna
like-
be cool.
Looks like on that one, it's a bottle it's like a bottle with a stopper on it and a brush sitting next to it, like a paintbrush.
Ooh. I think I know what that is, but Blood probably doesn't. But that's cool. Alright. Yeah, that'll be his turn.
Okay, that's it for Blood. Willow, you're up next, and this thing is standing literally over Corin as it's hacking into Shura. What are you doing?
That is a great question.
You have any healing for Corin?
No, sadly not.
Potions?
Nope. Actually, I don't even think I have potions.
You never take potions when they're offered? Because, your group gets them all the time.
Well, just try and kill this thing, I guess.
Well, just a quick question. Does Corin have potions on his person?
You don't know.
I know you gave me one, but I don't know if I would have seen if you had more.
I actually do have potions. Haha.
Blood's got a bunch.
Well, you could use your action to feed Corin a potion if you want to.
Yeah, I will move behind and then shove the potion down the throat. I have a lesser healing.
Okay. 2d4 plus 2. You can go ahead and roll it.
Come on, you stupid piece of stuff. Yeah, 9.
So you uncork the bottle, shove it into his mouth, and kind of hold him up a little bit so it pours down his throat. And as it does, that healing energy just begins to course outward, cauterizing, or not cauterizing, but sealing up the slam or whatever it is that you took. And anyway, you heal for 9 hit points.
Question.
Answer.
Would you allow me to grab Corin and then move him away?
So yes, technically you can do that. You move at half speed for however much movement you have remaining, which you move 10 feet. It still does provoke an attack of opportunity, though.
Okay.
What kind of action is it?
It would be an athletics check to do so, but you'd be using your bonus action to try to drag, and then you'd use the remaining of your movement at half speed.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to drag him away. Feel like he's gonna get hit no matter what, so I might as well at least get him out of the way first.
Alright. Attack of opportunity.
Yep, it is an attack of opportunity. It's not at Corin, however. It is at Willow. Apparently, this sword has some reach to it.
Well, couldn't I bonus action then if it can attack me? Because then I would be able to disengage.
No, because you're using a bonus action to drag me away.
You're using your bonus action to drag his.
Disadvantage though, so.
Yeah, it is a disadvantage, so there is that. Does a 19 hit?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, it does.
Okay. 22 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
But you are able to pull Corin back, so you can move 10 feet and pull Corin 10 feet back.
Wait, so is it or isn't it an athletics check?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to have you roll the athletics check. Sorry.
Okay.
So.
Sorry, but roll your athletics check real quick. As long as you don't roll a nat 1, you're going to be able to do this. There you go. 14 does make it. You are able to... I mean, Corin's really light. Like, he's a skinny elf boy, so it's not difficult to pull him out of the way.
Okay.
That's it for your turn, Willow. Shura is up next. Now she's going to heft that great maul of hers.
Get it, girl.
28's definitely going to hit. Nice.
Advantage, just in case you.
Oh yeah, it is at advantage. Thank you. Was not a crit, but did hit.
You're a poet and didn't know it. 19
more points of damage. Oops. Okay, second swing. This time I'll actually put the advantage toggle on. There's the nat 20.
Yeah!
She smashes hard. Right, she's aiming right at that crystal as she's swinging. And it's taking some pretty solid hits. 23 more points of damage. And each time, both times that she swung and hit, the crystal in the center of this thing's chest is shattering more and more. The cracks are getting bigger. It is still there, still in a whole piece, but you can see a little bit of that light flickering a little bit every time she hit it. Okay. Corin, you are awake, being dragged backwards by Willow.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna stand up.
Okay,
out
half
of
your movement.
Willow's grasp. I'll take a 5-foot step, and then I'm gonna throw a chromatic orb at this sucker for fire.
For fire. Okay.
Yes, that should hopefully do something useful.
No.
So, but it
anyway.
missed because the attack roll was only a 14.
It did indeed miss. You
Advantage.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
advantage.
right.
Advantage.
Let me roll that again then. 19.
Unfortunately, a 19's not enough. It goes flying towards it, barely missing the shoulder of this creature.
So at least a 20 AC. Okay.
Alright, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Next up is Kogan. Kogan's going to step behind Willow, seeing this thing glowing bright. Isn't going to bother hiding like he was planning on doing. Instead, he's going to line up his shot and fire his short bow. 18 is not enough.
Advantage.
Oh yeah, advantage. 18 and 12. Not enough. Neither is a 15. He is rolling horribly. So 2 shots fired. Both of those arrows can just clink off the wall behind the creature. Okay. Now we come to the Iron Golem, who is blinded still. There isn't like a save for this, is there, Eloise?
Nope, blinded till my next turn.
Wonderful.
The Constitution save was the save. But it failed.
Okay.
But it might not fail next turn, so, you know.
Yeah, you never know. So, let's see here.
Shut your mouth. Don't.
So, it can't see anything, but it did just get hit twice by Shura. So, at least it knows something is in that general area. You see on the top of the thing, the head lift upward. And as it's lifting upward, this kind of nozzle sticks out of the mouth, and then a spray comes shooting out from the thing. I need to do this. Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, I thought maybe it would be big enough to hit Effie, but it's not. Effie is just out of its range based on this thing, because it's aiming in the general direction of Shura. So, unfortunately, not enough to hit Effie, but Shura is gonna have to make a... what is it?
Dex?
A Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, what is it doing?
As it sprays a cloud of poisonous gas directly at her.
Oh. 10 Ouch. She's a big girl.
Well, that is a 17. Unfortunately, that is not enough. Oh, and it didn't roll the damage. I hate it when it does that.
You just take what it rolls, 45.
Beefy boy.
I guess that's the average.
Yeah, that's the average. I never do the average. No, it's just roll 20 doesn't automatically add the damage to these ability things, and I always have to add it in after the fact, and I just forgot to. See, now it actually rolls it.
48.
Ouch! 48.
Yikes.
That hurt. This spray of poisonous gas comes shooting out from the thing, and you just see Shura clutching her chest, coughing as this poison affects her body. Like, you watch as her skin begins to grow purple and veiny all across her body, but as she's staggering, she manages to keep her feet.
Does rage help with poison damage?
No, it does not.
Dang.
That was a huge hit, and sure, it looks like she's barely managing to keep her feet. But that's it for the Golem's turn. So that's good. Veil, you're up next.
Alright, Vale's gonna hop over here so we can see him. And, oh, that's not what I want. Maybe it is what I want. Sorry. I'm going to be casting web. I'm just trying to get this thing to come out. This it says 20-foot square, but it's a 20-foot cube.
Yeah, 20-foot cube.
Right, I'm gonna set it right here.
Oh, you're blocking shadows in as well. Ugh.
And I'm caught.
Yeah, and Corin's
No,
gonna be caught.
I'm angling it so it doesn't touch Corin. So it's not touching him, right? He's
Now
outside.
it's not. Yes, now it's not. Now it's just going to coat that entire area where the golem is standing next to the wall, and also web up the path that Shadows had taken.
Yep.
Oh, but he can make a deck save.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Not be restrained.
he
So,
can still shoot through it though. He's not in the path. I mean, if he's just gonna stay there and shoot, he's good.
Well, I mean, it doesn't just coat the floor. Like it's gonna.
No,
it's
5
gonna.
feet obscured. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're going to shoot your web at him, at least.
Well,
by
hold
there.
on. Let's see.
Lightly obscured
Like,
area.
lightly obscure, yeah, I guess.
So it's a depth of 5 feet.
Yeah. So it's
So if he's huge and Shadows is aiming up at the top of him, he shouldn't be obscured at all.
So yeah, he's not going to be obscured as far as sight because it does just like web up the 5 feet in that area, but it is also covering the door, so he's not like able to walk out, which was what he was wanting to do on his next turn. But
yeah,
no.
well, I'll just say consider that a slight inconvenience for my slight inconvenience of not having a portable hole for 12 sessions.
Yeah, because it was totally Shadows that had anything to do with it. But yeah, that's fine. I dig it. So yeah, you cast that web. It goes coating that entire area, including the doorway that Shadows had gone into. The thingy. What's he need to make? What saving throw is it?
DC 17 Dex.
Thank you.
Oh, it's got that -1 to Dex too.
Starter. You don't have to do it.
Oh, that was not supposed to be a disadvantage.
But it's not. You gotta wait till the start of his turn.
Oh,
It
the
is
start
the
of
start of his turn.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
He goes before Veil.
No, yeah,
What?
but they'll just cast it. So he.
Oh yeah,
he's
you're
got
right.
a
It
whole-
wouldn't be until his turn. I suppose. Each creature that starts its turn in the webs
Okay.
makes a dexterity saving throw. Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Okay. But that's that. You doing anything else on your turn, Vale?
No, I've got nothing.
Okay. So with that, it is Effie's turn. They're down at the lower side of this chamber. You just watched as the drow cast a spell and just created a big ol' mess of webs all over the place. He just kind of shot his shot. So what are you doing?
So I'm just gonna take a little sidestep, and I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead.
Okay. Click the spell under your attacks, and they'll actually roll the damage.
Well, let me. I don't think I have it under my attack.
Weird. Yeah, I don't see it on there. That's actually really fucking weird. Okay, no worries. It's a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah.
Oh, that's 14, so that's a failure. Go ahead and roll your d12. That's 3d12.
3d12. So 22.
22 points of damage. Nice.
And then, as my bonus action, I want to cast Shield of Faith.
That was a good roll for Toll the Dead.
Yeah, it was. And this guy is looking really freaking beat up right now. You're starting to see some wear and tear on this creature's iron body, but that stone there in the center hasn't really taken as much damage, so it is still there. You do anything else for your turn, Effie?
Like the center of the golem's chest, or in the center of the room?
It's the center of the golem's chest.
Okay.
We've been attacking the wrong thing.
No, you've been attacking the golem. The gem is in the chest of the golem. Where you see it on the map, that's where it used to be.
Yep.
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good right now.
Okay. Eloise, you're up next.
Yeah, so I've spent all this time condensing this energy again, and I'm just gonna aim my hands at it and open them up to shoot my sunbeam at it.
Nice.
So it needs to make another Constitution save.
Yeah, I do. So I actually just noticed that I did something wrong on this thing. The golem has advantage on saving throws against spells. I can't believe I missed that.
Nice. Well,
That's
he
okay.
gets it now.
He gets it now. It's a wisdom saving throw, you said?
Con.
Con saving throw.
Constitution
Thank you. Constitution.
16.
Wow, still a failure with a 14.
Heck yeah. So you get the whole damage. 20 points of radiant damage and blinded still.
20 more points of radiant damage. The thing is still blinded, and as you send that beam into the chest, that crystal is cracking more and more with each hit that seems to hit right in the chest.
Yep. That's my action. Bonus action, I'm going to look at Shura and say, we're not done yet, and I'm going to go ahead and cast Healing Word at 2nd level.
Now, Sunbolt, yes, because Sunburst isn't, it's a continued effect, so it's not casting a new spell. So yeah, absolutely.
Nope. Yeah, it's a spell that I'm concentrating on, and
yep.
Healing Word is not a concentration spell, so.
Yeah, go for it.
So, 8 points of healing.
8 points of healing. Well, you've doubled what she had, so that's definitely helpful. Your healing energy washes over her, and she kind of looks at you, and she's like, "Thank you. That helps out a bit."
Aim for the crystal. I think. I don't know how these things work. I can't see. And then I'm just gonna duck into the corner here.
Okay. That's it for Eloise's turn. And next up we come to Shadows, who is who's now definitely hidden behind all these webs and whatnot. And he also has advantage because the thing is webbed and glowing and all that other nonsense. So he's blind. And blind, yeah. So he's going to go ahead and raise his crossbow up and cast his and shoot his bow twice. Yeah, that's going to hit with a double 29.
Fucking balls!
43 points of damage. Holy shit. The 16 is not going to hit, however. But still, 43 points of damage. That's pretty damn good on one shot. Yeah, this thing is looking extremely hurt. Like, that crossbow bolt, he just aims, and the only thing he can really see is the thing's top of the shoulders and the head. So with that adamantine-tipped crossbow bolt, he just lines up his shot towards the head, shoots. The thing goes flying through, strikes the back of the head, goes up through the top, doing quite a bit of damage. And the thing is still up, but it's not looking great. Blood from a stone.
Yeah, well, he's just gonna kind of peek his head out and level his crossbow head, and he's gonna take a shot as well. 19. God damn it.
Yeah, 19 will not hit.
Fucking balls. All right. Well, you know what? He surveyed this room, sees there's weapons and stuff. Was there any good weapons that he noticed? Like any bows of any kind, maybe?
We'll get into that later. There's a lot of weapons over here.
Curiosity's killed this cat already. He's going to the next one to see what's in there.
Yeah, because we're not making investigation checks here.
He's just quick looking, yeah.
Yeah, so in this area, you see rows upon rows of shelves of different vases and urns that seem to be filled with coins and things like that, and gems and whatnot. You can also see on the platform there in the center several pieces of jewelry.
You guys just hear in the background in the distance. Oh, and he's just like, I am finished.
There are
What was in the first one? I missed that
gems. Gems in the first one, weapons in the second,
in the third.
In this one, I guess. Did I pass up one?
Yeah, you passed up the second one on that side.
Yeah, this one. Okay, yeah. So I did. I guess I could just see a little bit of light going. I guess from the sunbeam shit. It's like, all right, well,
yeah,
we'll go back to that one later.
And there's also like
the one he was in. That's right. Yeah.
There's also like coins all over the ground in this area as you're coming closer. Like all over the ground. There's several chests to either side, and you can see far to your right just a literal mountain of gold and silver and everything else, like a literal mountain surrounded in this back chamber. But you've like every time you walk through, you've caught glimpses, and you've also seen like a big ass throne on top of these gold coins.
Oh, Lord.
Could he just kind of like, you said there are coins on the floor, I guess, towards the back, I can see.
Yeah, like, if you look here, like, everywhere, all over here, there's just coins everywhere along this map.
Touch nothing but the lamp.
This guy's a fucking Scrooge McDuck. He swims in this shit. Alright, yeah, he can't fucking fire again, so he's...
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's it for Blood's turn. Willow, you're up next. What are you doing? Willow, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I was middle of coughing. I didn't want to cough on cam. I'm going to come up behind Cameron and tell him to open wide. I'm going to shove another potion down his throat.
Is that what you call it?
Hello?
Sorry. Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now. Sorry.
No, it's technology.
Yep.
I'm going to tell Cameron to tilt his head back and open wide. I'm going to shove another potion down his throat.
Okay. You're walking up to Corin, grab him by his hair, pull him back, and just shove a healing potion in his mouth?
Fuck yeah.
Why the hell not?
Consent, bro. Consent.
Why not? Corin, I assume, are you going to try to resist this in any way?
His natural reaction would be to, but...
Just baby bird that shit.
Drink it, just spit it into his mouth.
I don't know exactly how that works.
Well, I'm not saying you had to. I'm just saying he could just like open his mouth and just like wait for it. You know, like I'm not gonna even go there.
I mean, the mechanic is just you can use your action to feed somebody a potion. So you hand it to him and pour it down your throat.
Then I take
6
healing, I guess.
6 more points of healing.
Yes.
Why not?
Tell him to get on his knees first. I mean,
this is a lot.
The bottle of the potion.
Yeah, whatever.
Close his eyes.
Tell him thank you for the lovely tea party.
No, I prefer thank you, Daddy, for the lovely tea party.
Why not? That was your action. What else you got?
I'm gonna move over here.
Okay.
And that will be it.
Gotcha. And as you walk down there, you can see quite a bit more going on in this chamber. All the treasure chests along the walls, the coins on the ground, the different rooms with various knickknacks and bric-a-brac in there.
I can't.
No, there's plenty of light from Eloise.
Oh, well, no, I'm saying because, like, when I look at it, I don't see much of anything.
Oh, he was saying there's coins on the ground over here.
Oh, over here. Okay, sorry, I thought you meant over here. Do I see anything that looks like a diamond that costs 300 gold pieces?
Oh, there probably wasn't that first room, but we'll worry about that later.
No, I want to hide it.
Well, okay.
Moving on, Orc Lady's turn.
Moving on, Orc Lady's turn.
Sure.
Grabbing up that adamantine maul that she's got, she's taking 2 swings with that. So that's what she does. Well, the 27 does hit for 13 more points of damage. As she smashes into baseball swinging at this creature, you finally see that gem in the center shatter with that final impact. And as you see that, like, you just hear this odd sound that can only really be described as an energy field being powered down. And the glow surrounding him, the glow coming off of his chest anyway, disappears. But since he's like glowing, it doesn't really make as much difference. But you know.
Would Veil be able to tell if that meant that we're allowed to pull out our magic weapons now? Or our magic items?
Well, you can definitely tell that something happened in that. Make an insight check if you like.
Let's get it.
Or really, you should be doing that on your turn, I suppose, because that's more something
sorry.
to do on your turn, and it is still Shura's turn. But you can do that on your next turn. Corin, you're up next.
Alright, because Corin has never fought one before, he's gonna throw another chromatic orb at this thing, try and burn those webs in him as well.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Yep. And with advantage. So the 29 with a natural 20 will definitely hit.
Yeah, it definitely does. Your fiery chromatic orb goes flying out from your hands, striking this creature. As the fire burns away, it begins burning through all those webs that are there. And with all that... What's that?
Just 5 feet at a time. 5 foot cubes at a time.
5 foot cubes at a time, but most of them that's around him is the first thing that's starting to burn. As that happens, you see the armor begin to glow. And as it begins glowing, like it gets red and hot from the fire, and then you just watch as all that heat seems to be absorbed inward. And the metal starts to form back together as it absorbs the fire that was thrown.
Yep.
So he regains a total of 29 points of healing. Okay. And the fire on him is starting to burn away.
Well,
that was your action.
I guess I'll move up to the pedestal thingy. Can I use a bonus action to check out this bag?
There's no bag there. That was in this room down here.
Oh, okay.
That was the platform that turned into the golem. So technically that's not really there either. It's on the map, so I can't remove it.
Gotcha. Then, yeah, I guess 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... Checking out that bag.
Well, you can go running down there. Eloise is standing there in between you and where the bag is, but there is a
Oh, okay.
it appears to be a leather bag with a drawstring pull that is closed, and it's just kind of sitting there on the back. Like, remember when Indiana Jones put that bag of sand down on?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it looks like, just slightly slumped over.
Okay.
Yes, please stand right there.
Alright, well, I guess that I don't have enough movement to mess with it, so I'll just have to wait. It's my turn.
Okay. That's it for your turn. Kogan is up next. He's standing there in the... basically right there in the front of that doorway. Or corridor, anyway. Whatever you want to call it. He is going to take... line up... Actually, you know what I think he's going to do? Yeah, he's going to go ahead and use his bonus action to... Well, no, he doesn't need to study aim. I forgot. Because...
It's blinded.
it's already blinded, so he's got advantage. So, yeah, 2 shots with the short bow. Well, the 28's definitely going to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forgot to add sneak attack to that. Okay. So, yeah, a total of 21 points of damage to the golem. Arrow flies true, striking the thing in the armor, piercing it once again. It's definitely taking more damage now. Now it is the Iron Golem's turn. Let's first roll a d6.
My bad.
That's a 4. So that's a so it did not regain its poison spray.
Thank God.
It's got to do a dex save for the web.
Yep, that's the first thing. It is beginning to burn away from it, so we're going to say that it's probably a little easier than normal to get free from it. Yeah, that's
20.
That is a nat 20. So yes, he is able to pull himself free and get free from the webs, but he's still blinded. So I mean, he's going to be rolling this with disadvantage to try to hit Shura. $16 does not hit, but the 19 does. 26 points of slashing damage, which is more than enough to drop Shura down. So he hacks away, barely managing to catch Shura across the chest with the spin of the blade. But as much damage as she has taken, she falls down to the ground. She is knocked unconscious and bleeding out.
No.
Now that it is free and Shura is down, it steps around her out 5, 10, 15 feet to right here to where Effie is, because that's the next person it can see. Right there in front. So, that's it for its turn. Veil, you're up next.
Did it save for not being blinded?
Yeah, I was like, I thought it can't see, it's blind.
Yeah, okay, you are right. It is blind. I did forget about that. So instead, I'm gonna roll a d8, and that's what direction it has to stumble towards, climbing out.
Yep. Walk into the wall. Walk into the wall.
So 12 is 1, so that would be directly south. 10, 20...
So would you say he's walking into the webs?
Yeah, he basically would be walking forward, sticking his feet down into the webs again. So he is going to have to...
Dex?
Yeah. Oh, doesn't it work that way? Pop up web again. Let's see real quick.
Yeah, so...
It can make a strength check to break free of the webs too.
Yeah, but no, but he was not in web. Like he said that he
now
burned
he
away
is,
that web. So now this is the full part.
Webs are difficult terrain and lightly obscured. If the webs aren't anchored between two solid masses, it's layered across the floor, the wall, or the ceiling. It collapses in on itself, and that sort of thing. Each creature that starts its turn in the webs or enters them during its turn must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, it's restrained. And as long as it remains there until it breaks free, a creature restrained by the webs can use its action to make... Oh, okay, so
it's up to
so
you.
it's
if
actually
you
a
want to have him roll
choice.
twice because he was already he rolled one save at the start of his turn.
Yeah, but yeah,
But
I
he
guess
walks
the
back
thing
into
is,
it.
you said because you said he burned that part of the web out, so I'm assuming he walked into fresh web. It's your call as a DM.
I know, I'm trying to. I'd love to give it to you because but I'm trying to understand the wording here. So, a creature is restrained by the web. It can use it, or when you start its turn there, which is what happened. It used its dexterity to break free. So it was already burnt away and had an easy time getting away. The webs are still there, but kind of deflated down onto the ground. So as it's moving its legs. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say that yes, the since it didn't make it beforehand, it was never restrained. It was just coated in it and had to make the dex save to see whether or not it stuck, which it didn't. And then it walked forward, and the webby gummy coating is there on the ground, so it's re-stepping down into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you, and roll the dex.
He does get advantage, though.
Yeah, he does get advantage because it is a magical effect. That's an 18.
So yes, he saves.
So yes, he does save, and so he is going to make his way out. He is blinded and continues on to... Let's see, that was still rough, difficult terrain, so we will count that. So he can get to right about here. Okay. So that's where he ends up. As he is blinded, he walked south, started to get gummed up, wrenched his feet free, kept going, and that's where he is. Veil, now it's your turn.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What do I see in here? 30.
Okay. Stepping into that area, the first thing you see is a small box. It's only about maybe 3 inches by 2 inches, made out of wood, perfectly lacquered, and closed with just a small, simple latch.
Okay. I'm going to stop concentrating on the web and then use my action to cast Fairy Fire at the Golem.
I will point out that he is still glowing because of the sunbeam.
Sunbeam.
Okay. This is just an extra in case that thing ever goes down. This will just give everyone continue the advantage being given to him, and it's a once a day racial thing. So
okay, fair enough. What's the save?
DC 17. I believe it's Dex. Yes.
Dex? Okay. That's a 17.
Yep.
Since he's blinded, wouldn't it be a straight roll? Since when you
No, because he just has advantage on.
Only disadvantage
he
on
just
attack
has.
rolls.
Yep, he has magical resistance. He just automatically gets advantage.
I don't get blinded often. So.
Yeah. No, if it was if he was restrained, he would have disadvantage on Dex, which would cancel out the advantage, and it would just be a straight roll. But he's not restrained. Okay. That is my turn.
Okay. Effie, you're up next. Can you take this guy out?
I don't know, but I'm gonna move kind of right behind him, and I am going to use my adamantine warhammer.
Okay.
Get it, girl. Get it.
And I guess I'm just gonna hit him with it. I'm gonna
just hit him.
Ooh, that should hit.
Oh,
Get advantage just in case of a crit.
Yep. Roll with advantage.
Okay.
Just roll one more time.
Okay.
Well,
Still.
not a crit, but still hit.
How many times have we fucking said that, Rhim?
Mhm.
Can I guess I've never used this before, so I guess it's more of like a question.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Can that also be a divine strike?
So,
At this level it should be.
So,
Yeah,
pop up
happens automatically.
pop up Divine Strike.
Okay. Let me Bless Strike.
When a creature takes damage from one of your cantrip or weapons attacks, you can add. You can also deal 1d8 radiant damage to them. So yes, you absolutely can.
Just
Roll your
happens
d8
automatically.
Okay. Let me 1d8. Let's hope it's something good. I got an 8.
I mean, max.
Nice,
Pretty
Max. Yeah. Very much so. You smash into him with all your might. You see this explosion of radiant energy come out. This thing is, let's see here, horribly damaged. Barely managing to keep its form. It is still up, however.
Okay, well, with my bonus action, can I cast Healing Word on my good friend Shura?
You certainly can. Go ahead and cast Healing Word.
Okay.
Heal up my green goddess. Let's get a new favorite for green.
Healing Word. Okay, I don't know if I'm lagging or what.
Yeah, nothing's popping up for me.
Okay, let me try it again on the other one.
Shura plus Koga plus blood equals a party.
So 1d4 plus her modifier?
Healing Word.
Are you doing it? What level or spell are you casting?
I'm gonna do level 2. Can I do level 2?
You can. I'm gonna try to roll it for you, see if that'll work.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
2d4 plus 4.
So 9 points of healing to Shura. That definitely helps her out.
There it goes.
There it goes. Weird.
Oops.
God damn it.
Oh, and now it's going to keep going over and over again. It's okay.
Yep.
But she did heal her for 9 healing. She is up.
We can count all those right there, right?
If she wants to spend all those spell slots, I don't think so.
No, it doesn't quite work that way. That's it for Effie. Eloise, it's your turn. This thing is massively damaged. What are you doing?
Well, Corin is now standing in my way, and I'm just gonna look at him and be like, weren't you the one touting about how clever you are? Even a simpleton from the backwoods like me knows that fire forges metal. And then I'm gonna kind of like shove my shoulder into him so that I can get a clear line of sight, and I'm gonna try and hit the golem with a sunbeam again.
Okay.
I'll go over here so that way the line goes east away and doesn't hit nobody.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the saving throw for that?
Constitution.
Constitution. Well, it is a 19, which is a save, but...
Yes. So he takes half damage and he's not blinded.
Yes.
I've never met a golem, seeing as I spent my education dealing with the fabric of time.
So 11 points of radiant damage.
So, Eloise, you push Corin out of your way, you pull up that spell. He has 3 hit points left. So tell me how this looks.
I just give this elf who's not an elf, who's been like this whole time through the dungeon talking up how smart he is and who keeps doing dumb things. And like, Eloise is an agent of chaos. Like, she's not a stranger to making dumb decisions, but like, even this has been like beyond what she's willing to like put up with. And as she's going, she's real tempted to just let the sunbeam out so that Corin also is in the way of it, and she's like, nah, I don't want to waste another fucking diamond. So as she's shoving him and then making direct eye contact with Corin, not even looking at the golem, just opens her hands towards it and lets the sunbeam loose at it.
And it just explodes into the creature, out again through that hole, blowing a gigantic, wide hole, literally a hole, through the back. Parts go flying out into the area. And as that sunbeam fades, everyone kind of has to hide their face with their eyes with their hand to stop from being blinded by that, that just line of light that went through. But as everyone's eyesight's beginning to clear a little bit, you see that the creature is just crumpling downward, falls to its knees, and then just falls forward.
Well, people will definitely know that we were here, but isn't nature fun?
It is indeed.
And then I'm just gonna skip over to Shura.
Surely you do.
And if we're out of combat, I would also like to cast a Cure Wounds on her.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and cast a Cure Wounds. She, seeing the golem fall, just like puts her maul down and is like leaning on it. Like she took quite a bit of damage in this fight.
Yeah. My healing word was a level 2. I'm gonna do... Why not? I'm gonna do Cure Wounds at... There we go. So 20 points of healing.
Okay. 20 points of healing definitely helps her out. She's looking a lot better now, that's for sure. Shadows, he is right there next to you, Veil. He walked up to the little pillar, picked something up off of it, and is kind of standing there with his back to you.
So I walk up to Shadows and I say, I believe what you're looking for might be in the room to the east or west. It's small enough to hold such a thing as a ring. What have you got there?
Let's see. Shadows kind of glances over his shoulder to you, and he turns around and he shows you that he has a small. Or wait a minute, no, this room that he's in, he actually has it's a book that he picked up, and he's kind of glancing through it, and he kind of smiles a little bit as he taps it a couple times in his hand, and then sets it back down on the pillar behind him.
So, I have in my inventory a sketch of a book that I've been studying for months and months and months.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what I've seen in my visions? Does this look like this book?
Make a perception check.
He starts trembling. Perception.
Yikes.
That is 9, but I'm going to use a luck point to perceive.
Much better.
17.
Yeah, you can just barely see over Shadow's shoulder because he's like he's average height and skinny, but you can see that is a leather-bound book that when he placed it down on the pedestal again, it kind of hovers there a little bit, and it does appear to be something that you have seen before in a vision, granted by a horrible, horrible creature.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk right up and clutch it with the most insatiable lust Veil has ever had. His knees are quivering, his heart is racing, beads of sweat are forming on his forehead.
Shadows, he looks at you and he just smiles a very knowing cat smile as he says, "You have fun with that now," as he walks away.
And I also, I did not do my insight to see if the force field is down for magic items.
Go for it. Now that you have this in your hand and you're kind of clutching it to your chest, kind of start thinking and look around a little bit and make an insight check.
22. All day.
Yeah, with a 22, you're sensing in the air that there's, since the moment any of you have made it in here, those of you who are perceptible to magic has felt just a slight hum, a vibration of magical energy in the area, the entire area. You kind of calm yourself and you feel and extend your senses outward, but that buzz, that hum, is no longer here.
If I can still, I'm going to unzip the tattoo in my arm, pull out my staff, and replace it with the book and put it back up.
Yeah, because they did take away the restrictions on that. It's more of a interdimensional space, so it's less of a zipper. But I mean, if you want to call it a zipper, well, however you want to describe it is fine by me. But that gets sucked down into your tattoo, and you have your staff in your hand. And as you pull it out, like your heart pauses for a second. Yeah. Because like, you're pretty sure, but there's always that chance. And you have your staff in your hand, and you just wait and wait as Shadows kind of walks around and is kind of walking around the area. But nothing happens.
Excellent.
With the staff in hand, you know that the force field is now down.
And I will go announce that to the party.
So I guess we get to start making checks now to look for things?
So, I'm not going to make you roll to check things because you got some time. You can spend a little bit of time down here. Now, eventually, like after a minute or so while Veil was doing this, Shadows comes out from another corridor and putting something into his pocket as he does, and he says, "Now everyone, we have some time here, but we do not know how long we have, so time is of the essence. Shura, Kogan, Effie, you three are on gold duty. Gather up some the sacks that we brought along with us. Everyone has at least 2 sacks, by the way. Cool. Start gathering up as much gold and coin as you can carry. The rest of us spread out and let's see what we can find."
What's on this pedestal? Because this one was gems in the first one, weapons in this third, and...
Oh yeah, so I'm just going to start reading things off. Okay? So there is a shit ton of money in here, first of all. There are treasure chests filled with it. And literally over here, if you walk back to this back area, you can see the simple fact that there's fucking gold all over the place. Now that we're actually walking around and looking, I'm going to take some things off here.
I have a question, Matt.
Give me 1 second and I will answer your question. So there, now everyone should be able to see clearly, I should think, yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, so what's your question?
It's half question, I guess, half comment. You said that there was a whole bunch of stuff. Can I specifically look for, like, a crown of some kind?
You can. And for that, I will allow you to make an investigation check. The one thing that you see, Effie, as you start going up to this big pile of money, along with everybody else, or at least the 2 orcs, is there is tons of it there. Now, on the wall itself, behind the throne, like as you're looking at this thing, there you can tell there is like a raised dais and stairs, but it's just covered in coins all over the place. But behind it, along the wall, there is a gigantic mosaic along the wall. You all kind of light some torches and start moving torches around to see everything. But the mosaic is the depiction of a gigantic dragon with outstretched wings flying high over a desert town that looks very small, but there's also an oasis there that you can tell this is probably Rowena. And all of the mosaic itself, all of it is made out of gemstones. Mostly sapphires.
Yep. Sounds like he's the dragon.
Blue dragon?
Specifically, there are sapphires, blue sapphires, that make up the body of this dragon.
He could be a gem
Blue dragon.
or a gem dragon.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Matt.
I'm looking through everything to see if I specifically put a crown on here.
No, that's fine. I was just going to tell you that Corin's thought process is that obviously it's great if it actually does like a useful magical thing for him, but he's just trying to find a magical crown so that way he can use the magic of whatever it is as an excuse to be like, oh, no, I'm totally not wearing this crown to be pretentious.
Well,
it's not a magical thing I need.
So here's my question. Do you know what the difference is between a circlet and a crown?
Yes, a circlet doesn't go around all the way. It's usually more feminine looking.
Well, it's thinner. It's a lot thinner. It's usually like something that sits on the forehead. There are several of those in here. There is like a very small crown. It's like looks like it's only probably around like maybe 3 or 4 inches in diameter. It's something that can sit on top of the head, but it doesn't like go over your whole head.
So if I tried to wear it, it would probably fall off pretty easily.
Yeah, unless you had something around it, like if you put your hair in a bun or something.
No, that's fine. I can just grab the circlets.
Yeah, there are 2 circlets that you find among all of the jewelry that you can definitely grab. Now, so here's how things work, because this is one of those few instances where weight limit matters. Okay? Everyone does have natural strength, and they have everyone be based on your strength. That's how much you can physically carry. So everyone can grab things, but things do have a weight, and you can only carry your limit of weight. So there's no possible way all of you working together could carry the millions upon millions of coins.
No way.
But if you work together, you can get quite a few of the items that are here. And some gold as well. So here's what's here. Lots and lots of sapphires, tons of them. A mixture of other gems, to be sure, including like some diamonds that you probably 2 or 3 diamonds. Yeah, there's at least 2 diamonds that you find that could meet the 300 price range, and one that could meet the 500 price range.
Ooh, okay. So 2 300s?
2 300s and one 500. Correct.
So I now have 3 of those, and I need to add a 500. Okay.
Now, I would recommend making a... in fact, I'm even going to give you one. So let's do this real quick.
Heist pot.
Yep, heist pot.
Yeah. That sounds German.
So what this is just another handout that you can edit, and because your groups are sharing what is found here, so you're going to eventually have to divide this up, and this thing is going to allow you to do so. Now, in total, these are the things you can find without making investigation checks, because you're going to spend probably the next hour or so going through here, looking around. I assume everyone's doing that, right?
Who's editing it? Because I can't actually edit it.
Well, if you close out and reopen it, you should be able to.
Gotcha.
So here's everything that's there.
What Eloise doing?
You do.
I'm making a thing for each person.
Well,
we're gonna.
No, I'm just like putting our names. Yeah, and I'm putting who's taking what.
Yeah. So
I guess for items, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I tallied up and figured out already how much gold and platinum that Effie and the two orcs can work together to carry, so we don't need to worry about that.
If Corin and I both cast Tensor's floating disc, would that add to it?
Will Tensor's floating disc carrying things go through a teleportation circle?
It'll follow us.
But what does the spell say? Does it...
I'll pop it up in chat for you.
Yeah, it's right there.
No, I'm not talking about tensors. I'm talking about the teleportation circle. Yeah. Does it say it can could the teleportation circle teleport a cart and horses?
Any creature that enters the portal instantly appears within 5 feet of the destination circle or in the nearest unoccupied space.
So things that. What about things that aren't
follow
creatures?
me? The disc would follow me.
But will it bring
but this doesn't bring teleportation. Doesn't do inanimate objects. It moves creatures.
It doesn't say one way or the other on this case because it's a magical thing. So that's your call.
Yeah, so I'm going to say probably not on that one then, because specifically, you can ride a horse through it, but you could not bring a wagon through teleportation circle. That is a specific limit.
Someone's sitting on it?
Yeah, what if people were standing on it, the lightest people?
Even then, like if you sat on a wagon and put it there, the people will go through, but the cart would stay there, and the people would then at the new place fall on their ass.
Okay. That's
all right. Fair enough.
Because it does specifically say creatures instead of any
Yeah,
objects.
it's not transport via plants.
Yeah, so like
yeah, that's fine. I mean, what? It's only like 1 million more gold.
Yeah.
Whatever. Let's get back to the loot.
Honestly, when I was figuring this out, I figured loot was probably more important to you than gold. I will also modify things based on what you guys take if you're not going to try to take everything nailed down. But this is what you find. Just going from the top down, other than the tons and tons of gems and sapphires, you do find a coral scepter topped with sapphires and engraved with mythical imagery of a tree. You find a platinum bowl inlaid with ornate auriculum scrollwork. You find a platinum tankard inlaid with auriculum. You find a dragon horn comb inlaid with a meandos of auriculum. You find a fine leather scabbard trimmed with sapphires, a gilded wooden medallion engraved with arcane runes and a tree motif. You find a gold ring brooch set with a single flawless diamond. You find a platinum chime engraved with dragon scales. You find a platinum salt cellar inlaid with ornate auriculum scroll work and a dragon motif. You find a silk robe trimmed with sapphires. You find a total of 5 potions. One of those potions Shadows picks up and claims for himself.
Potion of hair and nails.
Yep, definitely that one. You do
a potion. Do I recognize that? What kind of potions these are? Do they look familiar?
Not at a glance, but you can spend some time and try to figure them out.
Sure. Okay.
I'm just telling you all the things you find, and then we're going to talk about what you take. Now, apart from that, in one of the rooms, you do find that ornate lacquered box with a latch. It's not locked. You open it up, and you find that there is a single deck of playing cards in it.
Oh Lord! Nope.
Oh shit! Leave it.
Nope.
As I mentioned before, you find a bottle of what appears to be possibly ink or something that's stoppered with a brush next to it.
Marvelous, whatever.
You find
dibs on the cards.
You find 2 scrolls.
Who said that?
Willow.
Willow
Wants the cards. Okay.
Yep. You find a gigantic rolled up carpet that's leaning against one of the pillars in there.
We don't need it, guys.
Come on,
I need it.
You also
zombies fail.
You also find a small gem that's kind of just hovering amongst all of the jewelry. That's just kind of hovering there, and has kind of a color that we're going to roll for later. You find a lovely necklace that has like 3 little balls that look like fire kind of carved into it. You find 1, 2, 3, 4 different rings, and like I said, 2 circlets. There is a longbow amongst all of the weapons, Blood from a Stone. It's kind of just sitting amongst quite a few. Most of these are like really, really ornately designed and has like gold and silver and all that shit. But one of them kind of stands out as just being really dark with runes etched along the edges.
Does it look like the one he saw in the vision? Could he check that?
What was the one he saw? What vision are you talking about?
The same one
Book
Veil
of?
saw, the book when we got the Dreamer met. We saw the 5 heroes using like silhouetted with those. Or do we not get a whole lot of detail? On
You
the
never
weapons?
got a whole lot of detail because you saw them at an extreme distance. You could
Okay.
make out that they were holding weapons, but you never saw like any details on them.
Well, he's gonna put that on his back for now.
Okay, there is also a very finely made short sword. There is a set of 4 horseshoes of all things on one of the little pillars.
Those for...
There is a single crossbow bolt sitting on one of the displays. There was that odd-looking leather bag that I described earlier. There is an ivory-looking feather, a very large blue sapphire that stands out that has a rune etched into it. You also find a wand among everything. You find 2 suits of armor, 1 plate mail that seems to have a bit of like a watery motif, like it has fish etched into it, and like seaweed and coral, like what's the word? Decorating it. There's also a very bright, shining chain shirt. There is a musical instrument, what I guess what we would call like almost a French horn, like one of those horns that's curved. Kind of looks like that. And there's also a set of plate armor that is spiked and kind of has a smoky smell to it.
Ooh, I know
Think
what
about
that
like
is.
that?
No.
Smoldering armor? Yeah.
Smoky smell. I'd be
Maybe
worried
the
about
horseshoes for
that. Yeah,
her horse.
horseshoes would be good.
His horse.
Matt,
Yes, ma'am.
what was very early on? You mentioned there was a coral scepter that had a tree motif on it.
Uh-huh.
What was the second item the next item after that had a tree motif that you mentioned?
After that one, there is a gilded wooden medallion engraved with arcane runes in a tree motif.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
So how do we do this, Matt?
Well, the way we're going to
Okay.
do this is everyone has a strength. And let's see, how do we figure out the...
We do it the old way.
If you never
Arm
told
wrestle.
us what kind of a potion of giant strength it was, should we just go that it's the uncommon version?
I never said
Just,
what any of the potions were.
No,
Yeah,
I
he
got
was-
this back in the Dragon's Horde.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't remember if he told us what type, and so would we just go with the uncommon version, or should we roll for something to see what kind it would have been? Unless
It
you
was
have that
probably
listed somewhere.
the one that brings it to 19.
Well, there's Hill Giants 21, Frost Stone is 23, Fire's
Okay,
25.
then it would have been the lower one, the 21.
The 21?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Blood will end up drinking that, and it lasts for an hour to help him carry
Wait,
it.
hold on. Time out real quick. Did we find a root?
Interesting.
There was a-
Interesting point, actually.
Yeah, was this technically the whole reason why we were in here?
Shut
No.
your fucking mouth, Jeremy. All right.
That is a very interesting point. Like, you're all kind of have been looking through these things. Not many people have picked up a lot of things yet. But then Veil looks around, and he's like, weren't we supposed to be picking up a root here?
Yeah.
But there is I did not mention a root.
No, there was a
Alright,
medallion with a tree on it.
Veil is going to he's going to cast as an action locate object,
Okay.
and he's going to describe and name the dream root.
Absolutely. So you describe or name an object that is familiar to you. The dream roots definitely are familiar to you. You sense the direction of that object's location as long as the object is within 1,000 feet of you. If the object is in motion, you at least know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once. Alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object, blah blah blah. The spell can't locate the object through any thickness of lead. Even a thin sheet blocks a direct path between you. The spell can't locate an object if any thickness of lead, even a thin sheet, blocks the direct path to you. Okay, good to know. So I got to do some math in my head real quick.
Okay, were there any of the objects while Matt is doing math that anybody wanted?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to know what they were. I have questions about a few of them.
I was gonna try and grab the circlets. And then, if
Hey, you know,
possible,
Apollyon's got a crown for you.
the carpet and the robes.
I have to get off here soon.
Yeah, I
have
just
a 20
I actually just realized it's 10:18. Sorry about that.
Oh, and hey, I wanted to know what we got, so let's.
I gotta know where to be.
I will let you know, Veil, that you do not sense the presence of the dream root.
I let everyone know.
Yeah.
No dream root.
How about we one item per, and then the others we can debate on later. So we're not just everybody's claiming everything.
Well, no,
hold
I'm
on.
not saying I'm claiming those. I'm just saying I want to make sure they
Yeah, we
go
wanna-
with us.
Yeah. Well, we can
Yeah,
take
well,
all the
I'm
items.
pretty sure we're taking all the loot, and then secondary is gold. If we don't, as far as weight goes.
Hey, that funny
that's-
little sack, is it
Well,
a bag
that's
of
what I was gonna. What I was gonna say was I have a 20 strength. I'm not honestly not gonna take anything, so I'll carry whatever you guys want me to carry.
Cool.
Yeah, Matt did the strength out for the orcs as well.
For the orcs, they're gathering up gold and platinum.
Okay. Yeah, because that's what they were directed to do.
Yeah.
How are we going to do this as far as identifying these objects when we want to divvy them up, or are we kind of just like grabbing these blind?
That's kind of what you need to tell me. Are you grabbing things blind and just taking them and hoping there's something and then teleporting away? Are you going to spend quite a bit of time because you can sit down and ritually cast detect magic and figure out which things are magical and which things aren't, and then spend a bunch of time identifying everything to figure out what they do before you grab them, if you really want to.
No.
It is
Now, can we
entirely
just
up
grab
to you.
them all?
I'm trying to
You
grab
just have
those
all this stuff and sift through it later.
So
four specific things.
I'm just going to let you know flat out, you don't have enough strength to carry literally everything here. Some things are
Okay.
going to have to be left behind.
Okay.
Now, how much you leave behind? Like, if nobody else gathers up gold and or any of the coins but the orcs, you can all carry like a good amount of stuff, and like probably 80% of the things that are here you could theoretically take. It just depends on how much time you're wanting to spend to do this.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I get those 4 things, and then anything else on top is gravy.
Okay.
That you said there's that strange leather bag. Is that a bag of holding?
Are you going to go over and investigate it?
Yeah, since he's got one, he'll know what it is. I mean, what one would look like.
I mean,
so I guess just an investigation.
yeah. Go ahead and walk over and make an investigation check.
It's actually a bag of devouring. Goodbye, blood.
Yeah.
Hardly knew ye.
Rolled a 17.
No, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Bag of Black Death.
Because if we're gathering all the stuff up, I'm assuming we put it in a central area, so he's just checking it out.
Since there were 6 potions, I'm gonna give each of us a potion. That way.
Well, and there's 5 and
5 other
Shadows
potions.
took one.
Shadow took one himself.
So there's 4 left.
Yeah, I'm including shadows.
He
So
did look.
without including the orcs.
Yeah,
I
you don't
thought
have
there
to.
were 6 and shadows took one.
Yes.
Yeah. So, not counting the orcs, including shadows, there are 6 of us. So I'm just giving us the potion.
7. Isn't it?
Well, yeah, as I say, Effie's would be 7. No, wait.
1. No.
Including Shadows is 6, but we didn't count Effie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
Effie
did
7.
count Effie. Who did I miss?
You
I missed
count
Vale.
yourself? Okay.
I missed it.
Sorry.
Okay.
I will gladly not accept a potion to give you guys the rest. As Jeremy,
Well, I don't
as
wanna-
Vale, he scoffs at you.
Well,
I honestly don't want anything.
so
besides
Blood.
the tarot cards.
Hold up. So, Blood, you walk over to the bag of holding and begin examining it. Now, outwardly, it appears to be just a simple leather bag tied in it with a drawstring. It doesn't look exactly like your bag of holding or anything like that. It looks like a leather bag. But you've seen not all bags of holding look the same.
Yeah,
it
probably.
depends on what type of material that they are. Yada yada yada. Really, the only way to tell is trying to reach in and grab something.
Do it.
Well, I'd have to know what's in there to grab it, though.
That's
Wouldn't I?
true. I mean,
No,
What
because
if
you don't-
you could
if
grab
you
the wrong thing.
yeah, I mean, if you reach in there and stick your hand in and it keeps going a lot farther than you're expecting, that's really the way you tell.
A haversack is the one where you can pull something specific out.
Yeah.
Can I just take me one of the longbows that were in there and stick it in there and see if it goes all the way in without having to put my flesh into it?
You certainly can. You pick up just one of the regular longbows that are there. They're just very ornately carved things. You open it up a little bit and begin shoving this thing inside it, and it does go in there like it would a bag of holding.
Alright, I'm not gonna be excited yet. He's gonna have Vale check it out. But optimistic we could grab a lot more.